Michigan has won the Battle of Alberta for Edmonton. 5-4 in overtime.
2-2 pitch from Castellanos, and this ball is drilled to right field. Heading back to the wall, it is gone. A home run, a 3-run shot for Freddie Freeman. And the Dodgers lead it 6-0.
Here's the 0-1, and Urias, a high fly ball, deep left center field. Racing back is Bader onto the warning track. He looks up, and it is gone for Luis Urias. Urias with his 4th blast of the year, and the Brewers take an early 1-0 lead.
Here's the 3-2 again. Fastball cracked to center field. Trout heading back to the wall, to the track. It's gone. A Springer dinger to start the game, and the Jays lead 1-0.
Draymond Green finds Thompson. Back to Draymond. Bounce pass inside to Wiggins. 4 to shoot. Spins off the glass. Over Klima. Up and in for Wiggins.
That was a much tougher shot than it appeared.
The crowd starting to raise the roof here at Chase. After 2 years of uncertainty and injuries, the Golden State Warriors have put the splash back in the finals. Final score, Warriors 120, Dallas 110. The Warriors win the West 4-1 and get ready for the Eastern Conference winner, which could be determined tomorrow night.
You could have just said Boston, as Draymond Green said after the game. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. This is the Friday, the unofficial start of the summer, Memorial Day weekend. As we come to you on a Friday, final day of the week. Last night, Edmonton, Connor McJesus closed out their NHL semifinal, and the Golden State Warriors are going to the NBA Finals for the 6th time in 8 years. And good morning to all of those that are still stumbling around downtown Omaha after the Big Ten baseball tournament ended at, we are almost on 4 hours ago. If you stayed up the end of the Big Ten opening day of the tournament, remember there was no rain yesterday, there were no rain delays, but the final pitch between Michigan and Illinois, the final out occurred at 2:16 this morning. The game started at 10:54 last night. 2:16 this morning, Michigan beat Illinois.
Did I see that was history, as in what Kevin Kugler tweeted, that was the latest that the game's ever been played there?
I would imagine so. I can't imagine there's been a game
late.
that's ever started that late.
Yeah.
But again, no rain delays yesterday, and the final pitch was at 2:16 this morning in the opening day of the Big Ten tournament. But guess what? You get to come back and you play at 9 a.m. today because Iowa, who laid an egg yesterday, is in an elimination game against Purdue. Welcome into Sharp Betting in the Morning. Busy morning for you as we wrap up the weekend sports. We'll discuss what happened last night at Golden State. Of course, yesterday, all of our in-depth discussion about what we could do at 6 a.m. to celebrate and get ready for Nebraska Northwestern completely went out the window when Dublin made a quick turn right or left and said, no, we will make this game a later afternoon game in Dublin, and it's going to be an early morning, kind of mid-morning kickoff here in Nebraska.
Absolutely.
The start times were announced yesterday. Plus, we have 2 tabletop grills to give away as part of the unofficial start of the summer, where this show should be like on the beach or it should be on the lake. We should be having a party right now with a party house with people that are all around us that have been drinking since 5 a.m. or kept drinking last night during the Big Ten game and then rolled in. Let me give you the lineup for the show, brought to you by the rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. Mike Sauter is going to join us a little bit later. Matt Verzal will stop by, and we will get to the latest in the NBA as we are a game away from the NBA Finals being set. Would not start until a week. Sean Devaney will stop by as Miami and Boston play Game 6 tonight in Boston, and I don't know how that's going to go the way of the Heat. So that is the lineup brought to you by John Higgins Weather Guard, the rooferees. Good morning.
What up?
How you doing?
Good.
Oh, boy. Did you get off to did you have traffic issues?
No. The gas station that I usually go to, it said that these pumps have been stopped. So I don't know what that means, except for On to the next gas
Were you
station.
going to? There was a place here in town that.
No, that's right by my house.
Okay.
That's well,
that had a shutdown because they had bad gas.
yeah, which is crazy because there are times I contemplate stopping at that gas station because they have a Baker's. You can use your Baker's card there, but my Hy-Vee points were rolling, so I haven't been going there as much lately. But yeah, people had like half gas, half water. I don't even know how people do that. Right? Like, I guess you don't have to meet some sort of spec or code. I don't know enough about how it works.
Well, sometimes they would shut down the pumps if there was a fire, if there was a leak, or if there was like damaged equipment.
So what does that have to do with half and half water?
Well, you said that the pumps were stopped and you didn't.
You're talking about where I was originally? Yeah, I don't know what was going on. Sometimes there's too many yellow bags too. I don't know, man. Maybe it's a little too off-brand. Maybe I need to do something different.
I got a bougie vehicle. You got to have premium gas in that thing, or you're going to be stopped in the middle of the road.
Not premium at all. Pretty 87-ish.
I think I'm at 80. I think I'm at 85er.
Pretty 87-ish.
Shane is a premium gas guy,
which is weird because he has the oldest car of the bunch.
Yeah, no kidding.
But
he's got a sports car.
I think
he's got to be able to keep it.
You're
so
afraid.
You're 40 miles an hour on
You're
Dodge.
afraid to go backwards, right, Shane? Because you've done it for so long.
Well, it says that you're supposed to do that. I mean, in the book,
a lot of books say that.
Do you read the book? Did you read the manual to your truck?
And a lot of people don't.
A lot of people don't read the manual to their truck.
Because usually, I don't know when your car is from. Maybe it's from the 60s, but like when you open your gas tank, it pretty much tells you right there. You don't have to touch the manual. But that's just for us folks living in 2022. I don't know where you're at. Maybe you needed a manual. Maybe they didn't put stickers in your gas tank back then. But typically when you open it, it's dab smack right there in the middle of your dome.
Shane, do you have a gas tank that you actually have to have a separate key?
No.
That'd
be great, though.
I vaguely recall growing up that my parents had a vehicle where...
Don't most people have their gas labeled in their tank? Who reads the book to see which gas to put in?
You should read the book anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I mean, it'd give you tips on a lot of different things
on how to fix your own rust spots and.
Then what's the internet for?
Yeah, I don't. Just that dude.
You can Google it. You can do that. You can definitely do that.
Read that.
Yeah, books
book.
are.
So you're putting premium gas.
I'm putting
premium gas in your car that's 22 years old.
It's not 22 years old, Damon. It's 10 years old. It says put premium in the car, so I put premium in the car.
Yeah. Mom told you to eat your veggies too. What happened?
I eat my veggies.
All right.
And my fruit.
I thought you might be coming from the late night game downtown. We got 4 down to the Big Ten tournament. We got 11 to go, everybody. 11 to go. Just stick with us.
Yeah, we were. What I said? You said. I think I said 9. What did I say? 9:30. I thought it would start 9:20. Wow, not even within an hour and 30 minutes of that.
Yeah,
bad boy.
10:54. No rain delays. They've got
it's all Maryland and Indiana. They were doing just fine.
As college baseball knows well, they have a pace of play issue. As the games just drag.
I didn't get that sense the first couple of games.
That late game, that just dragged.
The late game, so the one after all the delays.
Well, they didn't have any delays. No rain delays.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Like the first couple of games, I didn't get the sense that they were. Did you get the sense it was dragging?
Yes. Just the pace of play is an issue across college baseball. And then you throw in, because you already are dealing with games on television that give you the extra, not to the length of the College World Series television commercials, but they still give you extra inventory with television commercials.
But until Maryland and Indiana went late, we were well on schedule.
Yes,
right?
But I don't focus on the game time. Just like the pace of play, how we play the game when we pitch, when we get into the box, when we do all of those kind of things. Yeah. But at
I think it has a lot to do with pitchers wearing wristbands now. We used to not even be able to do that. Now you just, whatever it is that you get the call, you go ahead and look at the old wristband. Some guys like to take their hat off and look at the index card that's in the front. I don't know.
But 2:16 this morning was the end of the day one of the Big Ten baseball tournament. We should just play round the clock. They should have just completed 2:16. 40 minutes later, we're going. And at 3 a.m, we have baseball downtown. But instead, they're going to wait until 9. And Iowa, who laid a clunker yesterday, has to win essentially 5 games in 3 days.
Yeah, I wonder
to get into the NCAA tournament.
The little miscommunication in the outfit ended up costing them playing a ball in the air. But, man, those ended up scoring 3 runs. That was the difference.
What do you think if you are a neutral fan today, because there were, thanks to the Iowa fans that showed up, there was black and gold. They helped with the attendance. You've got Iowa and Purdue playing for an elimination game here in about 3 hours.
Yeah.
The local rooting interest will be for
Iowa. This is your chance, Nebraska fans, to, and everybody was super in their feelings. I'm going to root against Purdue. Now they actually have their chance. You can show up and give your hard-earned money and root against Purdue.
That is coming up at 9 a.m. as Iowa put themselves in a serious hole.
Way too many people on base. Boy, they're going to be kicking themselves yesterday against Rutgers. Woo, you had your chances.
Rutgers and Maryland stay alive. So those are the 2 most likely teams out of this conference to make the NCAA tournament. Maryland more than Rutgers. And then Michigan pulls off an upset late. So tournament is back. It begins at 9 a.m. This morning. I got an email from a guy yesterday in the Equitable Bank inbox who I don't think, just judging by the tenor of his email, that he's not from here. He was wondering why the street around TD Ameritrade is tore up. He basically kind of like sarcastic but real. Was like, did the city of Omaha not know that there was going to be a baseball tournament going on outside of that ballpark? Yeah, so I guess Cumming Street. I've not been on that side of the ballpark. I guess Cumming Street is torn up.
Timing is everything.
Well, you got to understand. Big Ten, you are the JV tournament before the varsity tournament. I mean, we got to work out the kinks before the varsity comes to play. That's what you do with JV. You make sure the scoreboard works. You make sure the popcorn pops. The concession stand is wide open. The pop is flowing. You fix your streets outside because in a couple of weeks the varsity is here. All right, that's the reality.
Timing is everything.
All right, we have a busy show because a lot going on. Of course, last night in the NBA, we have a NBA finalist. Nebraska football has some start times, baby, as we count down to the Guaranteed Rate Bowl in Phoenix between Nebraska and Kansas State. December 27th, book your tickets. That's going to be the matchup. And I saw the start time and the network yesterday. You know what? Yesterday was kind of a fun day because I want college football to be a year-round sport. And even in the month of May, when you drop, or late May, when you drop scheduling, you can feel that it can be a year-round sport. But a Guaranteed Rate Bowl, put it on the board, December 27th, Nebraska and Kansas State. There may be a storyline or two in that game. But start time's released, and Nebraska made an offer to Cade McIntyre yesterday. Barrett Ruud dialed the phone, called him up, said, we reevaluated. We kind of misjudged early. Here you go. Here's an offer from Nebraska.
They were split from the jump. So I wonder what the meeting of the minds were like. There were a couple guys that really liked him. Maybe a little pressure. Volunteer a scholarship offer, and it's like, yeah, that may be enough to push us over the hump.
I don't know. There's 2 guys that one got an offer, the other did not, that performed in your stadium in November and played pretty well. One for Gretna and one for Fremont Bergen.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would be enough.
Yeah.
But we discussed it last week and we kind of touched on it yesterday, but we'll get more into that. All right, you're always welcome to join the show on a Friday morning. Again, it's the unofficial start of the summer. It'll be busy travel. People are going to be out and about. The weather's going to be fantastic. It's going to be one of the top 10 Bill Ranby days today. Sunny and 79. Nice day to get out on the boat, the course.
The boat?
Yeah. You need to find a friend that has a boat that could take us out after the show. We can go on the Platte. We can go on the Missouri.
Oh, Mike is out at noon, so that's out. We got plans.
You going on a boat with your kid?
No. He's got to get home. You can't take an Uber.
It's right. The last day. Everybody's out today, right? All the schools are out.
Yeah.
So enjoy summer.
I think they're out. District 66 may have been last. It's there today.
All right. So it is going to be a big weekend. 951-1620. You're always welcome to join the conversation. You can email us into the Equitable Bank inbox, Gary or Damon at 1620thezone.com, or on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed at Gary Sharp 1620 at Damon Betting. Plus, don't forget, we have 2 tabletop grills to give away today. Not just one opportunity to guess what is Damon's meat, but you will have 2 opportunities today to walk away with a tabletop grill courtesy of 1620 The Zone and Sharp Betting in the morning.
Now, lost is not stolen. Like, you're susceptible to having your wallet stolen.
Oh, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
No,
okay. You were also saying that.
It will also never be stolen.
Okay.
The Connor Happer Show, weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Early fog this morning will give way to mostly sunny skies for your afternoon. Warming up today with a high of 80 degrees in Omaha with southeasterly winds up to 15 miles an hour. Tonight, mostly clear skies becoming partly cloudy, becoming breezy as well, but mild. A low in Omaha of 61. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. We have no accidents to report at this time, but you can expect a little bit of slowdown from 102nd all the way to 90th along L. And then along West Center Road, be prepared for a little bit of a delay from 183rd to 175th. And other than that, it looks like your commute this morning should be pretty smooth, even if you're running a bit late. As always, remember to stay safe and wear your seatbelts. I'm Chris Scott.
This time-saving traffic was brought to you by Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More.
Hi, I'm Mark Evans, owner of Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More. Right now, we'll open your drain line for only $93 or it's free. Call for details or request service at justcallburton.com.
The Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Email me, Connor Happer, with the Connor Happer Show at Connor, CONNOR, at 1620thezone.com. Send me your love, your hate, and maybe a few hot takes. The Zone Inbox, presented by Equitable Bank.
At Dingman's, our first priority is protecting your safety. We are here to be your personal advocate to ensure you receive safe, proper repairs by the highest skilled technicians in the industry. Stop in to experience the Dingman difference today. At Dingman's, we would rather be the best than apologize for anything less.
1620 The Zone. Live and local, broadcasting 6A to 6P in the Host Coffee Zone studio. Host Coffee, building healthy and happy break room refreshment services to Omaha and Lincoln metro area businesses. Discover a better break room solution for your office at sales@hostcoffee.net.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required. Refund available for 60 days after purchase.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Results are guaranteed or your money back. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
With prices soaring at the pump, filling up can be stressful. That's why Discover has your back with cashback. Use Discover to earn 5% cash back at gas stations and Target, now through June, on up to $1,500 in purchases when you activate. We know every dollar matters right now, but you can count on us. Get up to $75 cash back this quarter with your Discover It card. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/rewards.
Sharp and Betting in the morning on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, and the 1620 The Zone app.
Throws out to Thompson. Thompson pulls up in the paint from 14, blocked. Clay gets it back. Finds Draymond. Draymond with the catch. Hand off to Clay. Right elbow jumper. That's short. Rebound. Looney deflected it. Got it back to Clay. Right side three. Got it!
18
rebounds by Looney.
All right, so 2 years ago, the Dubs were last, and now they're in the NBA Finals. I get why Draymond Green said after the game that nobody believed in us. Absolutely nobody believed in us. I mean, why would you? I mean, look, they got Curry, they got Thompson, they got Poole, they got Wiggins, they got Green. I can understand that. He said that after the game. I don't know if he said it in jest or not, but they are into the NBA Finals for the sixth time in the last 8 years, and they got Game 6 Clay last night, who had struggled, and he is still coming back from his back-to-back knee injuries. But when he's shooting the ball like he did last night in the first half, I don't know who has much of a shot when the rest of that crew is going.
They're going to be obviously a handful. I mean, I kind of got what he was saying. I think they only had like the fourth or fifth best odds coming out of the West. And everybody said, well, if they're healthy. And maybe that's enough for a team like that. But you think when you have that core of good players, I don't know if they saw Jordan Poole coming. I don't know if they saw, Porter being clutch when he was playing. I mean, Wiggins was progressively getting better for them, but they had some questions. So I think for him, when you've won that much, who knows what they're using for motivation. But I think most people had them fourth or fifth in the West, and that was just the West. So, I mean, I get it, but Fudge, anytime you had that big three, you're going to give yourself a chance to win. And now they got depth. I mean, they played 9 guys, not even bad an eye at it.
When you have Looney that grabs nearly 20 rebounds in a closeout game.
Yeah, you usually don't talk development in NBA teams, but Golden State might be one of the best developmental basketball teams in professional sports. Like, their guys get better. It's one of those places that if you go to, you're gonna leave better than when you got there. Doesn't matter who you are. That culture is a real thing. That culture is definitely a real thing.
And you have a head coach who threw numerous defensive schemes at Dallas, and they could not adjust. And Luka, I mean, he looked like he had run out of gas. And, the rest of the crew with him couldn't keep up, really, in the entire series. But Golden State, you watch them play,
sometimes he looks like he's laboring.
When Golden State had the whole crew back together and they played Phoenix on Christmas, that was an impressive effort. I thought, man, if they are healthy and they have no hiccups along the way, they're going to be a tough out. It's going to be them and Phoenix. Of all of the guys, and last night, Klay Thompson hits 8 threes, and you could tell that he's feeling it, and he's still returning. So that was Game 6 Klay playing in Game 5. The one guy on that roster that sometimes you just take for granted, and then he hits a shot in the corner, and you're reminded, the stability that you have Steph Curry. Steph Curry doesn't go through those major roller coaster moments. He's usually pretty stable. And he's going to give you the wow moment a few times a game, but he'll disappear, and then he'll pop up at a key moment. I mean, that's just such a nice luxury to have on that team with so many different options, is that your number one option is so stable.
Yeah, and now he's a conference MVP. So, I mean, this guy's pretty good, future HOFer, and he's done it his way. A little unconventional, a little small, allegedly not very athletic. Although his finishing stats around the rim for his size are extraordinary. Maybe between he and Kyrie, but I'll tell you, when there's definitely something to Golden State's culture. It is a real thing. Real thing.
And more likely they're going to play Boston in the final because the Heat look like they have run out of options and run out of gas, and they're playing a really good basketball team, which hopefully Boston and Golden State in the final will set up as a magical, fingers crossed, 7-game series. I I think there are some things that Boston has defensively in terms of length and rim protectors that could cause some issues with Golden State. But if we get Golden State Boston, I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, maybe with Robert Williams, I like the matchup for Golden State offensively. If as good as Boston is, Robert Williams will be the X factor, I think, for them, and how Golden State, if that's the matchup, combats it with Looney and what happens in that front court, because they can get Robert Williams to play away from the rim, which is going to be interesting because Bam Adebayo doesn't give them that wrinkle. So I'll be curious to see how they use interchangeable between Grant Williams and Robert Williams playing in the front court, because it's not ideal for Robert Williams to be spending an inordinate amount of time with Draymond Green. So the Looney Green thing is going to be real. It's going to be a nice little cat and mouse.
Hopefully that's the series that saves the NBA postseason, that gives us exciting games, because in the Boston-Miami series, which could be over tonight, that series has been a drag. We've had 5 games, and over 5 games, we've had 8 lead changes, and half of them were in the last game. I mean,
no big deal.
Just hasn't been. But you're telling me that we go through all of this stuff in the postseason to get to Boston Golden State? I'll sign up for it.
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing about last night, Golden State winning, is that's the end of Ernie, Shaq, Kenny, and Barkley. And there were moments last night, I think he was kind of having fun, a little agitated.
I don't know.
Could have been the end of Charles Barkley, who, went after the city of San Francisco when he was forced to go back to San Francisco for Game 5.
Well, what were they throwing at him?
Well, I saw the one, the person threw a T-shirt.
Somebody threw a bottle.
Well, he was, and the thing, that whole crew, you've got Shaq who's egging on people, keep giving it to Chuck, and there were moments where I think Chuck was good. He was having fun with it. He was playing up, and then it got kind of, I don't know. There was towards the end, I was like, wow, this is he's now kind of crossed it a little bit.
I thought that was getting real.
I mean, not going to go into the crowd and start throwing haymakers.
He stood up though.
Yeah. But you go on a studio show, you say some things. At least he knows that he's going to get grief for the things he says. Yeah. But when you go after the city and they just won the Western Conference Finals and people are pretty excited, man, that's what live TV is all about. But now we lose the inside the NBA guys. Why can't ABC just switch out crews? Why can't they be the pre, the half, and the post? Or at least give us on TNT a post game.
Probably should run that by Breen and those guys and see what they think.
We can keep Mike Breen. We can keep Mark Jackson. You can keep Van Gundy. But I would like somebody different at the beginning, in the middle, and the end.
Mm.
And maybe Shaq, Kenny, and Charles will hang around and bring back Ernie. Hey, we've seen cross networks before.
Ernie is a funny dude, boy. You talk about a peacekeeper, and then occasionally you just start chuckling because he's gonna gas that bad boy up. He gets it in. He pokes pretty good fun at Charles. I think, he's the elder statesman and Charles is afraid to bully him. So he kind of just lets Ernie say his thing. But Ernie is funny. He's the glue to that bad boy.
That is the best pre and post game show going in sports television today. And quit trying to replicate it, because you can't. Look at last night's a prime example. Everything that was going on, and you have Barkley that is ready to go. He's on vacation. He wants to go home to Arizona, and you got a live crowd, and you got the chemistry of those guys that can egg each other on, and that they can go there, and then they know when to stop.
Mm-hmm.
They can take somebody to the edge, and then like, nah, but they all get along, and they all know, joking at the end of the day, at the end of the show, they're in it for the reason is people watch and they want opinion, but they also want to be entertained, and they entertain them very, very well. And
are you not entertained?
Think about the Western Conference Finals as that is over. All right, 6:40. Coming up in the next hour, we'll give away our first tabletop grill. So you have your meat prepared. You said yesterday that you are getting away from the cow.
It's a trap. For one of them.
Okay.
I could have used a little more cowbell.
Don't you have half a cow ready to go for Memorial Day?
Not half. I only probably have less than half left. I'm probably down to a quarter.
Didn't you? I thought you ordered.
I haven't ordered another one yet. I've had one from probably last year about this time, about a month later. I think I got it in July. And I got like less than a quarter left.
All right.
I have a fair amount of beef left over at Paisans.
What?
I would definitely.
Oh, you're
cut a different
using the Paisans cooler.
Yes, I am. That's why he occasionally tries to lock me in there
to hang out with your meat.
He thinks that's funny.
Oh, he's
not all that funny.
He's coming up a little bit later.
Yeah.
All right, 6:41. Sharp and betting in the morning on 1620 The Zone.
Omaha's most listened to all sports radio station. Again and again and again. 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here from my friends at Kugler Vision. If you have tough vision problems, or if you've been told that you cannot have LASIK and you are stuck with bad vision, don't believe it. There are 7 different modern vision correction procedures, and they offer all 7 of those at Kugler Vision. Connect with Kugler Vision today. Find out about the options that they have and what it could mean for you. Give them a call today at 402-558-2211 or book your consultation online at KuglerVision.com.
Searching for your next vehicle? Shop Woodhouse first. Over 1,000 pre-owned vehicles in stock and on our lots, with new trades arriving daily that you can explore on Woodhouse.com. Plus, confidence comes standard when you purchase a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Woodhouse. With our multi-point inspection, transparent pricing, available add-on warranties, and financing options, purchasing a pre-owned vehicle has never been simpler. Experience the difference and drive away today confident and road-ready in your new vehicle from Woodhouse.
Research shows listeners don't like it when ads interrupt their music. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance, we made this ad optional. If you want to skip this ad, remove your left earphone. Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
If you're missing this informative ad, you must love wasting your cash.
It's the easy and smart way to save.
Now it's all been said, so if that earphone was out, put it back in your head.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You know how some commercials say silly things like conveniently located, and the actual location is way across town? At Core Bank, we're located on your desktop, laptop, or smartphone. So if you need a business loan, you don't have to drive anywhere. Get the funds you need with Rapid Track Loan from Core Bank. It's really convenient and really fast. Go to rapidtrackloan.com and apply today. At Core Bank, we make lending convenient for businesses. Loan subject to credit approval, not a commitment to lend. Additional terms and conditions apply. Member FDIC.
Sharp and betting in the morning on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, and the 1620 The Zone app.
Draymond Green finds Thompson. Back to Draymond. Bounce pass inside to Wiggins. 4 to shoot. Spins off the glass. Over Kleba. Up and in for Wiggins.
That was a much tougher shot than it appeared.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. How about not?
So the 6th time in 8 years, Golden State is back in the finals. That kind of a run, a little reminiscent of a run to the finals when the Bulls were in the 90s from, 91 to 98, that kind of stretch there. But back in the finals when people thought that they were dead after injuries, Klay Thompson's injury, Kevin Durant leaves, and all of a sudden Golden State's going to play for another championship. 15, 17, 18, 22. That's not a bad little run for Golden State with their cores, especially with their core pretty much intact. Take out Durant and insert of late a healthy Klay Thompson in this run. That's pretty good if you're Golden State.
Is there a disdain for them at all? Kind of like, how the Patriots in their run towards the end there'd be not maybe towards the end, maybe towards a little bit before the end, that there'd be a disdain. Like people would just get off the bandwagon. People weren't, vibing with the whole Belichick thing. And
when they had Durant and there was a super team, there were people that were triggered. I think this Golden State team, the way they've come back in the last couple of years, I don't think people. I don't get the sense.
So they're being rooted for.
And I don't get the sense that people are like upset at Golden State like they were when they had Durant. I think they can appreciate this team because look at you got a Wiggins, you got a Looney, you got guys that have come off the scrap heap or have emerged in their first time to shine in the NBA.
And what is it? It's 6 out of 8, right?
Yep.
He was only there for 3 of them. So, I mean, yeah, a little. Shane, but we act like I wouldn't even count him as part. I mean, I would, but I wouldn't. He's interesting because he's there. He will have made it to half their finals.
You're talking about Durant?
Yeah. So I don't know. Do you include him in the core?
Not really.
I really don't.
Not really. But you know what the message was when he joined? Oh, you're going to a super.
Yeah.
team.
No, I get that part.
Yeah.
But
no, not
I think
in the core.
we act like it was longer than it was. It was only 3 years.
The core is 3.
Yeah.
Thompson, Curry, and Green.
Completely agree.
And they've been able to add Wiggins through a trade. They add a guy like Poole and Looney, and then they have complementary pieces around them.
Yeah, I mean, how you're cheering. It would be hard. This is just me, Shane, but I don't know if people follow the NBA like that. Like they sent Looney to the G League, or not Looney, Poole to the G League. Like he had to go get his game ready. Then he comes back and he's NBA player. He's comeback player. We should have been comeback player of the year, most improved. I remember way before that season started, we're like, man, is this Poole's year? Like, is this Poole's year to be a breakout star? If it is, that would really help Golden State. He answered the dinner bell. But I the more I thought about it, and I was just going back to looking at the preseason odds, I'm kind of vibing with. I'm kind of vibing with them a little. I mean, most people had them. It was Brooklyn, the Lakers, Milwaukee. Then there was kind of a little run between Golden State, Phoenix, and Utah, kind of clumped. So I wouldn't go as far as to say nobody, but there were some that didn't even think they were the best team in the West.
Did they have better odds than Phoenix at the beginning of the year? Or about the same?
About the same.
Just kind of a little bit surprising.
Yeah, because so many
Thompson wasn't ready to start the year,
and so many people liked Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like everybody. It seemed like most people that I know liked Phoenix to come out of the West. But I mean, a little bit of a stretch there with nobody believed in us.
But that's okay. I mean, to each your
Clay,
own.
Clay did, and they've done it without Clay being great.
Oh no, yeah.
Sometimes even good.
So game 1 through 4 in the first half, he had a combined 18 points.
Yeah.
He had 19 last night. And the way he was shooting the three, that comfortability, that looked familiar. Because you know what we've seen in the playoffs so far. There have been times where he has an open three, and usually that's money, and it clangs off the rim or it comes up short. Like go back to Memphis. Remember the beginning of the Memphis series?
Yeah, well, that Christmas game that you talked about in the first segment against Phoenix, I mean, they started Gary Payton the second. So, I mean, I wasn't even like.
Will they get him back at any point in the finals?
Kerr thought he was doubtful for the first couple, but I mean, you think he's got to be close.
Yeah, we kind of forgotten about him because he began the playoffs, and then he got injured in the Memphis series. And then there's Otto Porter.
Yeah.
Who also got injured.
That Christmas Day game, they started Green, Porter, Looney, Curry, and Payton. I don't think anybody was thinking championship.
How many minutes in that game did Klay Thompson play?
He didn't.
He didn't?
No. He didn't play at all.
I remember I was watching that game and I thought, man, Golden State cranked up is going to be impressive.
Yeah, I mean, this is just wild when you kind of look at it. And they got it done.
That's a good structure. I think this postseason has also shown us, especially here in the final four teams, because you can make a case that three of them have maybe three of the
Toscano, Anderson, and Witherspoon.
Three of the top coaches in the NBA. If you think coaching in the NBA matters, Kerr and Spoelstra, they've stood alone. Boston's got a guy that, man, don't let that man leave. Udoka is punching all the right buttons and saying all the right things, and he's got Boston in a good spot from where they were when the season began. I mean, talk about Christmas. Boston was done for. At Christmas, Boston was an afterthought. And now when they win tonight and they beat the Heat, they will be playing in the NBA Finals.
Is one other question. Is 3 the magic number for the core number for an NBA team to have a run like this?
Yeah, you need 3.
3 is 3 players or 2 and a coach?
Oh, I think you need 3 players.
3 players?
Yeah. In some way, shape, or form, unless you're Kobe.
Or Jordan.
Okay. Yeah.
and then you need a running mate.
Well, I think Jordan had 3.
You go Jordan, Pippen,
Rodman. Yeah. I think 3's the.
All right, so let me ask you this about Kobe. Kobe in their best stretch, Kobe, Shaq. If you have to give me a third one.
Well, it kind of rotated. I'm going more towards the championship that Kobe won without Shaq. I mean, the next 2 best players were Gasol and Odom. I think Gasol was maybe going. I'm going off the top of my head, but 17, 18 a night, and Odom was like a 13, 14 guy. But that usually doesn't cut it. Those listen, I'd like him. I didn't love him, especially then at the time, Kobe. That will be underappreciated what he did. That was not a great basketball team. I mean, he was getting guys like Bynum to maximize. They were good.
Jesus, where is Omar Bynum at?
Good on good. He's chilling someplace with Kwame Brown.
And he didn't have Big Shot Bob.
No.
Hello.
No. I mean, just that. Yeah, that was LeBron, I don't know. I mean, he got there without the 3. Did he win it in Cleveland with 3?
1 for sure. And Kyrie.
Yeah. It's probably the next closest.
I mean, think about Milwaukee last year. Middleton, Holiday, Giannis.
Yeah, and Brook Lopez was pretty good. But again, you're right. That's fringe, big 3.
Yeah. If you have to stretch to get a third guy in there,
that's fringy.
You have to go find someone.
So you can happen into it not having a third, and if you happen into it, chances are
it can be a rotating third, but you need a third. Definitely.
I'm trying to think now. I'm trying to.
What do you,
in my head, I'm going to college basketball.
What was the Nets' problem? College basketball, you don't need 3. It definitely would help, but you don't need it.
You just need 2 in college basketball,
or stud.
Okay.
I don't know if you're going to see a Carmelo thing again, but he had a backcourt.
You could do it without. You could
really good that people kind of poop on.
You could do it in college without calling it a big 3. It could be a solid 3.
Yeah.
Look at KU. Obagi would be in the 1 seat.
Yeah.
And then you could find 2 very good complementary pieces. And they won a national title. I mean, go back the year before Baylor.
Yeah, they had multiple. They had their third was rotating. It could have been anybody on a given night, but they had the big 2 in the backcourt though.
All right, coming up next hour, we'll talk some football. As again, start times have been set, and Nebraska made an offer yesterday that has elicited quite an interesting comment on the process for Cade McIntyre. Dive into all of that and much more. Don't forget Big Ten baseball, which ended just a couple of hours ago. Starts back up at 9. Omaha, which got a huge win yesterday. They knocked off number 1 North Dakota State. They play Oral Roberts tonight at 6. And then Creighton, the rain in Cincinnati. Creighton actually got banged yesterday. UConn got their game in, but Creighton doesn't play until 1:30 today against Xavier. So UConn played yesterday.
Georgetown was wishing they didn't play.
Yep, that was a 4-love. That might be UConn might be back. That's what they're saying. I think. It's like that they're saying today
after one. Yesterday morning
chilling.
it was limping in. Can't go to it in the queue. This morning they may be back.
They're back. They're back. They've made up for last weekend when they got swept by Georgetown.
Yeah.
All right, sharp betting in the morning. Plus, in the next hour, we'll give away our first tabletop grill of this pre-holiday weekend show. So we have the extended weekend. No show on Monday. So we're going to blow it out on the start to the unofficial start of summer. With summer-like weather. You're going to get tan this weekend.
I probably won't go out much unless I'm cooking.
But you know what we're not going to have? I mean, we will not have NBA basketball on Memorial Day weekend. What are we going to do?
All good in the neighborhood.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. We have one disabled vehicle to report that has the right lane blocked near 90th and Dodge, so please be cautious if you are in that area. Then along Center, it looks like things are slowing down just a little bit from 192nd to 175th. And if you're traveling along 204th, be prepared for some minor delays near Q Street. As always, remember to stay safe and wear your seatbelts. I'm Chris Scott.
This time-saving traffic was brought to you by Nanfito Heating and Air.
Air conditioning season is here. Nanfito Heating and Cooling, a Rude Pro partner, will get your unit in working order with residential installation, repair, and maintenance on all brands of air conditioners. Call Nanfito Heating and Cooling 402-515-5050.
Hi, this is Kathy Canoyer with Canoyer Garden Center. The beauty and color of spring is in our greenhouse, featuring thousands of gorgeous hanging baskets and hundreds of varieties of Canoyer grown product. Come in and let our family help you find what you are looking for. Whether it's home decor, annuals, perennials, shrubs, tropicals, or vegetables, we have it all. Canoyer Garden Center between Highway 370 and Cornhusker on 66th Street in Papillion. Open daily, 9 to 7.
At Canoyer Garden Center, everybody's got a green thumb.
That big college baseball tournament downtown is right around the corner, and my friends at Tickets for Less have you covered if you're looking for tickets. You know how hard they are to find. Tickets for Less, known for a generation as Ticket Express, they have the best selection of tickets to that big baseball tournament downtown, and they never charge you per ticket fees. You can also buy with confidence knowing you're fully covered by the Tickets for Less 100% fansurance guarantee. Once your order is locked in, it's guaranteed. Order online at ticketsforless.com or call today, 402-398-1999. Tell them Gary sent you.
O'Reilly. Restore shine and protect your interior with Armor All cleaning and protectant wipes at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, buy 2 canisters of Armor All wipes and get 1 free. Plus, you'll earn double O Rewards points. Clean, shine, and protect with Armor All wipes available at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Frank's Pizzeria has a new location. Just like their original location at 132nd and West Dodge, their new location at 72nd and Q is making the same delicious New York pizza. At Frank's Pizzeria, they make their dough fresh every day and top it with handmade sauce, fresh ingredients, and top-shelf buffalo mozzarella cheese. They even make their own Italian sausage. Wash it down with a cold beer and awesomeness ensues. Frank's Pizzeria for nearly 20 years at 132nd and West Dodge. And now, check out their new location at 72nd and Q.
Hello, I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. If you've been dissatisfied with your current banking situation, maybe it's time to move to a bank that works to deserve your business. We have an engaged staff that offers exceptional personalized service. We also have a great digital banking platform. We have 2 locations at 108th and Dodge or 202nd and Pacific. So if you're looking for a superior banking relationship, give us a call at 402-827-8100. We'll answer on the first ring. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
Back to Duncan Keith. Back to Draisaitl. Right face off top. One-timer. Bouchard scores. And we are tied. Evan Bouchard. Post and in. His third of the playoffs. And game 5 is dead even.
Back up top. It's D'Angelo to Jarvis. Jarvis all the way across. Now score. Terrified on the power play. What a setup. Jarvis, Teravainen, back to the net, 2-1, Carolina lead.
Wild stat in Carolina Hurricanes in the Stanley Cup playoffs so far. Every game they have played in, the home team has won. They won again last night on their home ice, and they're up 3-2 on the Rangers. There's nothing appealing about the Carolina Hurricanes to watch them for 60 minutes.
At some point, and maybe it'll be game 7 if the Rangers find a way to get it there, Shesterkin's going to be that guy on the road. Like, they're toying with fire. You'd think he's got it in him for one big-time performance. And first they got to do it at home, but, man, you get into goaltending in a game 7, Carolina, I don't know, man. Law of averages are playing with fire. Shesterkin's pretty good in the regular season.
And probably win the Vezina.
I mean, you think he's going to find a way to figure it out on the road.
But Carolina's so nondescript for a team that had a really good regular season. It's just they're not appealing.
Well, they're not as high-end star-studded as some other folks in the playoffs, but they're pretty complete. We've been saying this, and I thought we would get enough of it. Why do we always say with them, yeah, but with Carolina?
Because
we've been doing this since we started.
Butter team.
And they just keep winning. We brought it up again with Eddie Garcia. We talked about him when he was previewing the season to start with. It's like we don't want to like Carolina, but man, they sure do keep winning.
The other highlight that you heard, so Calgary and Edmonton were crazy last night. There were 4 goals in a span of about 71 seconds in that game. I just want people that know hockey, you already know what I'm talking about. People that just want to watch like greatness and an individual, and I get it, it's hockey. They play in the West. Their games are on late. Connor McDavid, for what he is doing in this postseason, and he's going to get the bigger stage. So you could have 2 of the greatest players going right now in the NHL, McKinnon for Colorado and McDavid for Edmonton, playing on the same ice. Connor McDavid, who is still really, really young, who he's setting records and getting milestones that the Gretzkys and the Lemieux did. He has been on the ice for 38 goals in the playoffs, in Edmonton's playoffs, first Western Conference final. He ended up with 12 points in this 5-game series. He got the game winner in overtime. He's in a city that loves their hockey, but it's been a long time since Gretzky and Messier and Grant Fuhr were all together. So that's the first time they've been into the conference finals since 2006. But find a way to watch number 97 for Edmonton play. You will not be disappointed. He is an amazing, unreal hockey player who hopefully now into the Final Four will get more attention outside of the hockey world for what he is doing.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is he's got a teammate that has the exact same stats as he does. You talked about the big 3 in basketball, Shane. I mean, Draisaitl's right there with him. And I guess if you're an Evander Kane fan, it doesn't matter what goes on in the offseason. You find a way to flourish when it counts. And he's made him dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then you throw in Nugent Hopkins.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that 12 for Kane? What he's doing, I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea what is going on. But, I mean, pretty perfect timing.
That stat you had, by the way, Gary, that's a pretty wild stat. That's better than the Avs stat that they have, that they're the last undefeated team on the road in the playoffs. And to make it this far in the playoffs and still be undefeated on the road is pretty impressive. They're on the road tonight, by the way, so just, chalk that up.
You as the resident Avs fan, are you looking for a closeout?
I would hope so. I mean, it's got to be in this one, or otherwise it's going to be pretty demoralizing, I guess. I mean, it really could be for the players. Hopefully not. I know, I mean, they probably don't think about it that way, but it really might be, because the last game felt like a punch in the gut. So I would hope that they can get it done tonight, and just based upon like the stat that I said just a little bit ago, that they're still undefeated on the road, take that into account. I think they'll get it done.
I don't know how you can, but you're asking St. Louis to play with 60 minutes of complete desperation again.
Well, what they're gonna do is, and as long as Colorado cannot fall into it, they are gonna play with desperation, and they're gonna try to get you to get into as many fights, get out of your sink. They're really gonna try and throw the game off that way, because they have nothing else left to go to. I mean, they have to. That's what you do in the playoffs. That's what you do when you're down 3-2 and you're on the ropes, your back is against the wall, whatever cliche you want to throw there. I mean, that's what a team does. So that's what's going to happen tonight. So really, it just depends upon the key to the game will be if Colorado if they can just take it and not fall into it, not fall into the fights. You're more important on the ice than you are on the box. So that'll be the key right there to the game. Because
hockey advice from Al Arbor over there.
What you don't need is St. Louis being on a power play, because if they get on a power play in this series, they're going to score. That's what they're going to do, and that's what they're going to be striving for tonight.
Huge home underdog. I'd like to see a Game 7. I'm just saying. Game 7 in Colorado.
That'd be a tension convention, though.
That place would be unbelievable.
I think it would be more of a tension, because you went from being up 3-0 with a chance to close out St. Louis, and all of a sudden the series has come back. Like, okay. And especially where you haven't been able to get out of the second round of the postseason. Yeah, I don't think Colorado would like that scenario to come back. Are we disappointed? Yesterday's start time in Dublin. We spent all day yesterday talking about the fun that we could have. Now we're going to have to readjust. And what kind of a fun are we going to have at 11:30 in the morning? You can't have the same fun at 6:30. 11:30 compared to 6:30 in the morning. How are we going to have the same kind of fun where they did an about face in Dublin and they said, you know what? Let's go early evening in Dublin for a football game. Let's give those people in Chicago and Omaha and Lincoln, let's give them a little 11:30 week 0 football.
Yeah.
I
would have preferred early, but it's whatever.
That is the kick time over in Dublin. This is in the Equitable Bank inbox. This is a good start to our reading of emails today. This is from Fritzy. Thank goodness the Northwestern game is at 11:30. It is necessary for the majority of Nebraska fans, as we need at least 3 hours to prepare for the game by mass consumption of alcohol. How else could you watch the garbage product that has been putting on the field over the past decade? You can't watch that team sober. Fritzy is apparently not reading the national love for Nebraska. There is a moment, though, of the kick times that were announced yesterday, and there are 3 night games, and there could be more night games. There have only been, since Scott's been the head coach, there's only been 9 night games. But I don't know why a television network would not want to, and I know it was the opponent last year, but the magic of a big game at night in Memorial Stadium, like the Michigan game. I mean, that atmosphere was one of the better atmospheres that stadium has had for a long, long time.
Yeah, the game lent itself to that.
But 3 night games already on the schedule, which is not bad. It is, Nebraska, you put Nebraska on TV, people will watch. But we get what we kind of wanted is the Oklahoma game is the big noon kickoff. It is 11 a.m. Some people were jonesing. That would be a great thing to have at night. That would also be a great thing to be played on Black Friday. But that ain't going to happen. We all want things. But the 11 a.m. kickoff.
You rather have Oklahoma on Black Friday than Iowa?
Oh, this is the nostalgia part.
Oh, going way back.
No, it never happened. But that would be unique. See, especially like last year on the 50th anniversary, that would have been unique. You would have had to move mountains for that to happen. But that's the nostalgia part. So that game, and I think, hey, Brady Quinn said it's on their radar. I would think now the traveling show for Fox with Urban Meyer rejoining them will be in Lincoln for that game.
Yeah, I guess.
Which turns into a big showcase for both programs of, okay, where you at?
Yeah, what's the early season line on that too? Like 4.5 or 5?
4.5 was the first I saw. Yep.
Yeah.
But
I should probably pay more attention to who's coming and who isn't. I'm conditioned. We haven't really fared well. I don't really pay attention to what shows are coming and what isn't. So we've done the game day thing and whoever else comes. I got to get out of that rut where I say, man, just be competitive.
That's the day.
I gotta be a little more optimistic than that.
See, that game sets up and regardless if it was Fox is making it the marquee game at 11. Like when I'm going through the schedule yesterday, it seems like Fox has put everything into making the 11 a.m. kickoff the biggest thing going. And then what they try and do, because I think this is separate from what ESPN tries to do, Fox says, let's shoot for the moon. Let's get the big games that go at 11 o'clock. Not everybody likes the 11 o'clock game. That's a split thing. But Fox says, let's build up 11 and let's try and keep our audience throughout the day. Where doesn't it appear to you ESPN does it different? ESPN says 11 is okay. We like the 2:30, but our kind of day starts at 2:30 where we build you into prime time.
Well, I'll be curious to see what happens without Herbie.
Now, he'll still be on game day.
Kirk, I'm talking about with the broadcast.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because do the pairings and who's doing games really matter for time slots going forward in the future with all this moving and shaking of broadcast pairs? Will we see that kind of change, or is college going to be a little bit more traditional with their start times?
We've
haven't seen the SEC get away kind of from the 2:30 thing gradually, right?
We haven't had as much upheaval on the broadcasting teams in college, so that may not have as much maybe an effect that we have in the NFL.
A little, maybe.
But I just think Fox starts at 11. They say, let's swing for the fences at the beginning, where ESPN/ABC says, let's focus on 2:30, and then let's keep that audience to make prime time still important, and to make the marquee game that goes at 6:30 is
of the bunch. Personally, the one I like the least is the midday game,
the 2:30 game.
Yeah,
unless you're the SEC on CBS.
I like either 11 or nighttime. I think 2:30 is. No, it seems like there's always something to do. Oh, maybe that's just me.
The scene for the Oklahoma game, though, will be what you would imagine, with Oklahoma coming back to Lincoln on the back half of that home and home. And if you have Fox's traveling show, again, Urban Meyer will be here. It will be quite the scene. But it will also be one of those, if you take care of business in your first 3 games.
You think Nebraska would have cared either way if it was Urban Meyer or Stoops?
Yes, that show's different with Urban Meyer.
Huh.
Stoops was good in a short amount of time, and then he got pushed out the door when Urban Meyer wanted to come back. I mean, you don't think Stoops could have done another year? I know he's coaching in the XFL. That's not till next year. He got pushed out the door. The Urban Meyer factor on that show is enormous because of who he is, where he just came from. He's got more of a presence than a Bob Stoops has. But that scene is going to be a big deal. But if you know how this will be presented on both sides. From the Oklahoma side, Brent Venables begins the year at Oklahoma. He's got Dylan Gabriel as his quarterback. People are wondering what Oklahoma is going to be like. They basically have 2 layup games before they come and they play on the road. So it'll be, okay, is this the first time to see if Brent Venables, there's no let up in Oklahoma football. Then you know what the big thing is for Nebraska is this is kind of you take care of business in your first 3 games. All right, let's do a pulse check with Oklahoma, who will roll in preseason top 10.
Ooh, you think?
Outside of the top 10, they will roll in with some accolades.
Oh,
but it'll be a preseason.
They don't strike me as
check.
me as a top 10 kind of team. I don't know why I haven't done any way too early college footballs. I know more about basketball. Wow, I don't know if I look at Oklahoma as a top 10 team. It might just be me though. I could be missing something.
They are in Athlon's preseason 13.
Yeah, and even that seems generous.
But that will be the first pulse check for Brent Venables.
Yeah.
But it will be a significant pulse check for the Nebraska football program. If you do work in your first 3 games and you're 3-0 and you welcome in a nationally ranked team, and it's Nebraska, Oklahoma, and you're going to have attention around the game.
So ESPN's list, they've got them at 17. Wow. Okie State at 9.
And I think it's not only with Oklahoma, the absence of your starting quarterback and some other key people, including your former head coach, is you only return 9 starters.
Yeah, top 10 would have been crazy. That struck. I was like, ooh, unless I was missing something. I mean, they lost some fellas too. See what happens if Gabriel can be that guy, though.
Well, if he can work with Jeff Lebby, and they're familiar with each other. From all accounts, they had a really good spring.
You got Asamoah and Benito and Perrion Winfrey. I mean, they're replacing some fellas.
Mm-hmm. Well, Isaiah Thomas.
Ooh.
Everybody's got an Isaiah Thomas.
Wow. Ooh.
Another part of Oklahoma football this year, not only the quarterback, but their supporting cast. I mean, what are they going to get out of the running back position? Eric Gray's coming back. You remember him last year? You remember every game you went, wow. I mean, they could have a true freshman starting at running back in Jermaine Barnes. But who's going to be catching the ball outside of Marvin Mims? I mean, they did lose a lot that left to go elsewhere, and they lost guys that go to the draft.
Didn't they get, what's his buckets? Gavin Sawchuk.
Yes.
Will be there too. Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see.
But it'll be a major pulse
need for Nebraska to be 3-0 by then.
Yeah, it'll be a major pulse check game for both sides because people will wonder about Venables. Okay, first difficult test. You're on the road. You're taking your quarterback on the road. Marquee game. Everybody's talking about it. So I like that it's at 11 a.m. and I don't know. We could text and ask Brady if they made a decision, but would not surprise me if Fox's pregame show set up shop in Lincoln.
Oklahoma's got UTEP, Kent State, and then Nebraska. That'd be very interesting.
2-0 against 3-0?
What do you think?
Almost must to be 3-0 playing in that game. All right, 7:18. We come back. Your chance to win a tabletop grill. You can guess what is Damon's meat of the hour. We're going to do this twice today. Give you a little bonus for the holiday weekend upcoming so you can get your grill game on. The weather is going to be fantastic. Summertime is here. School is out. Football is almost here. What are we, 92 days?
I don't know. No idea.
How about we put you in charge of the countdown?
No.
And every morning you can come in and that's the first thing you say.
Probably not.
We got 92 days until football. And my favorite 92 of all time was?
Seems kind of, no. Let me know when we start.
Well, that's August 27th, but we got to have a countdown to get to that start date.
I'm not a countdown guy.
All right, 7:19. Sharp betting in the morning at 16:20 The Zone.
Previously on The Crossover.
Josh, I think you're onto something with this whole Western Nebraska thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
might as well be.
I went to Lincoln for the first time in a while last night. And I was like, man, this is really.
$42 degrees. Health and wellness. Golly, helping create better days. Just fielding a question about CLAs from my guy Kevin. Whether it's the CLAs or the cognitive or the immune boost, the L-carnitine, they help get the day started in terms of the metabolizer. They've helped create better days. Health and wellness, it's a lot more than what I thought it was going to be. Just on a recommendation, kind of strolled in and asked a few questions, and I've been a customer ever since. And the cool thing about it is just a knowledgeable staff. Like, there's a lot going on. It's a pretty fluid market, and things are always changing. But the fact that the folks at 42 Degrees stay ahead of the game, always keeping you abreast of the information and what's going on, there's a sense of peace, a little calming effect that happens at 42 Degrees while I'm helping myself create better days. It even happens with the dogs at home and what they consume, from vegan to gluten-free, to salves, to my intake from the health and wellness, just helping create better days. It's 42 degrees.
All right, 7:24 on the Friday, last Friday of May. Summer is here. Baseball ended early this morning downtown, Michigan and Illinois. Ended at 2:16 with Michigan winning. They are back at it at 9 this morning in an elimination game between Iowa and Purdue. Iowa put themselves in a deep hole, losing to Penn State yesterday 5-2. So essentially, they've got to win 5 games in 3 days. So it starts at 9. We don't know when it will end, but you get 4 games of baseball downtown. 2:16. Last pitch was at 10:54 last night, or the first pitch of the last game. There you go. 10:54. The last out occurred at 2:16.
It makes for a long night.
So Illinois has to come back and play at 1.
Quick turnaround.
Creighton got banged yesterday in Cincinnati, so they don't play till 1:30 today. And then if I would have told you, as down in Tulsa at the Summit League baseball tournament, Mike Bovee would have his 29-game hitting streak snapped, and Omaha
big win.
And Omaha would still win 10-2. You would have said, day drinking?
Yeah.
But they got a great start from the pride of Millard West, Caleb Rydell, and he was dominant. And the pitching for North Dakota State was not very good. Lots of walks, key hits. And Omaha won 10-2. Their pitching staff is intact. And now they play essentially a road game tonight against Oral Roberts.
I like playing against road games.
But they won a series. They won 2 of 3 earlier this year in Tulsa.
Remember when that was a big deal?
Yeah, it's still a big deal. In this tournament, Oral Roberts has got like some ungodly, like they're 69-17 all time in the Summit League baseball tournament. But you are like playing a road game. But when you went to the NCAA tournament a few years ago, you went into Tulsa and ran through that tournament. So that's a huge opportunity for Omaha tonight after winning yesterday, beating a number 1 seed. But they got great pitching, and you didn't need your big bat. I mean, Bovee had a 29-game hitting streak. He went 0 for 4, player of the year in the conference. But yet they took advantage of a lot of walks, 12 walks total in that game. And that was and actually, Evan has said they like their matchup better with Oral Roberts than they do with North Dakota State, especially against their arms. And the arm for North Dakota State was not very good yesterday. So that game is at 6 o'clock tonight. My Tennessee Volunteers, you see what they did yesterday?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, caught their act in all its glory. And with each run they tacked on, the more obnoxious they got.
They rolled over Vandy, who Tim Corbin said that's one of the most impressive teams he's seen in 20 years.
There's just no easy outs in that lineup. I mean, you got to really be able to pitch it. And you make a mistake, and they make you pay. They make you pay. That is a complete football. That's a complete baseball team.
Watching on TV, the SEC Network and the SEC baseball tournament, I don't know if it reaches the level of a bucket list, but if I ever find myself at the end of May in Hoover, Alabama, as long as it stays there, I think I might be able to. I might wander into that ballpark. The passion those fans in the SEC have for college baseball, I mean, at that conference tournament, that is quite the atmosphere. I mean, they got half the conferences going to the NCAA tournament, so it adds to it. But man, the fans lean into that event.
Yeah. I like the fact that I don't know if it was the indoor thing versus the outdoor thing, but you know who has a cool look to their games is the Big 12. At least
because they're playing at Globe Life.
Yeah. It does look a little dark in there, but it looks like a cool setup. Not enough people there, but
and you know, I mean, that venue is way too large for a conference tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, that's about the experience for the players. Hey, you get to go in a major league clubhouse. You're on a major league field.
It's basically the opposite talk of getting those games out of the high schools.
Well, it's the Big 12, which, I mean, Bricktown is ideal spot for them. But they'll go once in a while and they'll say, hey, we got to give a bone to Dallas. Because you remember when they had so much success at Bricktown Ballpark when Nebraska was in the Big 12 and the convenience of that ballpark and the success of Nebraska playing in that ballpark. But you remember when the one year they took it out and they went to the ballpark in Arlington? Right. You could have a Nebraska-Texas game drew like 8,900 fans and there were still 40,000 empty seats. It just didn't look right. But if you put an 8,900 fans for two non-local teams in Oklahoma City, ballpark looks packed. But that's a facility that speaking of which, on the outside looks like a grill. That's what it does. It looks like a grill outside.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to give away. We're not going to give away Globe Life. We are going to give away a tabletop grill as part of the Great Grill and Griddle giveaway. Start dialing now, 951-1620, 951-1620. Damon, if you've not followed all week long, describes a meat. Usually if you have followed along and you know Damon's affinity for meat and doing meat well, what he has named over the first 4 days is something that he likes. So it's not going to be something that is just out of the blue. It is something that he likes to cook. He likes to consume.
Yeah,
so
like
that is my hint for all of you today to win, because we're doing this twice. We're going to give away 2 tabletop grills today.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to come up with something that is like just.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you about Chateaubriand. Like, I like it, but that wouldn't be something that I would do. I was tempted to do lamb chops, but that'd have been too easy.
All right, so the next time I come to your house, I will not do Chateaubriand.
Yeah. Yeah. Although if you could afford it, we probably need to have some speaks. Shano?
See that look?
I'm going to get meat. And I know how to get all the meat off a bone. Yeah, I like meat. No, I don't like sweet meat.
I want to see my meat. I want to be able to look at my meat that I'm eating.
The meat is so big.
Yep. Time to give away a tabletop grill. All right, we start with a couple of hints here, and then we'll go to the phones, 951-1620. You ready?
Yeah. This cut, actually, I got a buddy. My buddy Kevin turned me on to this cut. He would always talk about it, because we would exchange, pictures, and this has gone on for some years. And he would always bring up this term, and I was like, golly, what is that? And it's not beef. So when he would put the 2 terms together, I'm like, okay. And then he'd show me some pictures. And then I actually had a couple, because the cut, it's super versatile. It comes from pork. It's right up there. It's from the shoulder, but you can also cut it from the leg or the loin section. It can have some connective tissue. Some people marinate it, some don't. I don't typically. I can just grill. I like it better. It's a sneaky good cut, man. Some people like the tenderloin. Some people like this cut. Some people like, they'll get the ribs or some parts of the belly, but it is super versatile. Some people like it in, like a slow cooker. I don't. I grill it just like I would its counterpart on the cow. You can get bone in, or you can get boneless. Just depends on the cut. Nice, affordable piece of meat that doesn't need a lot of work, at least in my opinion.
And there will be plenty of people that will be eating this meat this weekend.
Yeah, I think it's kind of relatively new, maybe the last couple, 2-3 years. It's interesting because when you get a pig butchered, they'll ask you about this particular cut in terms of what you want to do with it. So you got options.
All right. Those are the clues. This is Nick. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning.
What's up? What cut am I talking about?
I am just going to throw this out there. It's probably not right, but Windsor chop?
It is not. Ooh. It is not.
That was an interesting guess.
Yeah, that's pretty particular. This one is not as. This is a little more general.
All right, Jeff. Good morning, Jeff.
Yeah.
You're on the air, Jeff.
What's up, buddy?
Hey. I am clueless on this one, and I know it because the stuff that comes to mind. So Windsor cut was. Yeah, I'm out because I'm clueless on this one.
All right, it's pretty underappreciated. It's pretty underappreciated.
Thanks, Jeff. Here's Jim. Good morning, Jim.
Morning.
All right, what is Dame?
It's not feather bones. Are you saying it's a
I almost picked feather bones today. I almost picked it. Remember, it comes from the shoulder. Some people, you can get a few from the loin, but you just got to cut a little bit through the connective tissues by the joint. And most people get them about, half-inch thick, maybe.
Pork chop. I don't know.
Incorrect. I actually like this better than the pork. I like this better than the pork chop.
All right. Here is Caleb. Hello, Caleb.
Hey, guys.
Caleb, what's up, buddy? What cut of meat am I describing?
Let me think here. You said from the shoulder. It can be from the shoulder.
Yeah.
It's
cut from the shoulder of the old.
What was that?
That was the piglet.
Boston butt.
It is not the butt.
This is proving to be a little bit more difficult than I thought.
I don't think a lot of people utilize it.
Okay. Do you have another clue? Because you're getting close to giving it away.
It has a beef counterpart.
Okay. That's a good clue. All right. Let's see if that helps Damien here. Good morning, Damien.
Good morning, fellas. How y'all doing? Well, at least, how are you doing? I ain't talking to Damon.
Damien, I'm doing wonderful. The sun is out. We're up. We're having a show, and you've called us.
I feel terrible, too, because we were at we weren't even too far from you a couple of weeks ago, man.
I do barbecue over here.
But you keep those banker hours.
And because I get here at 4 a.m. to get the meat on, man. It cook all night. This ain't no fly by 5 hour, 3 hour brisket.
Hey,
man.
listen, you know what's funny too? That's our stop when we get on the road.
I know you over here. I know. I'll see you when you come. I don't even come to see nothing to you no more.
Damien, you do great work, by the way.
Hey, this might be in your wheelhouse, though.
You throwing me off kind of with the clues.
Super versatile, but I like it plain.
And you said it wasn't a butt, right?
Nope.
And it comes from the shoulder, so it can't be a pork shoulder. It can't be the pork shoulder.
Nope.
It ain't much of a pig that's much left besides the ham.
I'm telling you, it is. You've got to try it.
I'm gonna go pork steak, maybe.
It is a pork steak.
Oh.
It is a pork. See, not enough people. It started in the South, right? It was utilized a lot of plantations, kind of slaves, but it's way good, and I think it's better than the pork chop myself.
Now, my cousin. He does a hell of a pork steak.
How does he do it?
The Yoda, the Yoda.
Yeah, Yoder, the cookie machine.
No, Dale.
Yes, I do. How does he do them?
And he's
How does he do it?
We ain't gonna give you the secret. I mean, but they just low and slow.
Yeah, the low and slow is kind of the way that a lot of people go. But if you marinate it, you can just grill it like a regular steak.
Yeah, but see, I marinate everything, so that's just part of the process.
All right, D, man. I'm gonna stop letting you down.
Hey, Damien,
so
thanks.
Did I win something? I hopped out into the car just to have me a little cigarette. And I heard something was going on. I called, and I seen Damien was talking about barbecue, and was like, "Let me just call."
Hey, Damien, you stop by. You pick up the tabletop grill, and we'll exchange. We'll give you a grill for meat.
Hey, no problem. I'll do that with you. You just make sure you eat it in front of Damien.
I will. Damien, you're a good man.
All right.
We'll put you on hold, and Shane will talk to you.
I wanted to use feather bones so bad. I almost did. But, a lot of people don't, especially here, don't.
Well, because it's not really accessible here.
And it's hard to get fresh. You can get them frozen. Frozen box of feather bones.
But if your first feather bone is frozen, you're not getting the experience.
You can cheat and get away with it, but you get a nice cut, some cuts of feather bones. A lot of people don't like the fact that they don't have a ton of meat. But yeah, the pork steak, that's kind of my new baby.
If you missed out on this opportunity to guess Damon's meat, like Damien, we will do this again coming up next hour. We've got Mike Sauter, Matt Verzal, and we'll talk NBA with Sean Devaney with all of you on Sharp Betting in the Morning on 1620 The Zone.
One-stop shops with great customer service. That's Woodhouse Chevy in Missouri Valley. They'll take care of all your vehicle needs, and all means all. From quick lanes and repairs to oil changes and tire alignments and rotations to the purchase of the vehicles themselves, new and certified, pre-owned. Sales staff, super friendly and really educated. The response times, especially for a guy that's as inquisitive as I am and comparing and contrasting, has been fantastic, considerate of your times and needs and allowing for efficiency in their communication style. It is a peace of mind, right? That's pretty complete. And it's not just to meet your expectations, it's just what they do. They'll exceed your expectations, do exactly what I did. You could do it a time or two, depending on if you're looking at multiple vehicles. Schedule a test drive today. You won't be disappointed. Ton of range, ton of versatility. Remember, at Woodhouse Chevy in Missouri Valley, you can always find new roads.
All right, so not only school's out, final day for OPS West Side and some other school, Council Bluffs. This is their final day in school. You have the weather's warming up. We got baseball going on. We got a lot of events going on. We got a lot of people that are going to be at the lake. Weather's going to be good. We got a summer sequel. Top Gun, yay or nay?
I'll probably be slow to go.
It's one of those that
not really my jam. Although the old Top Gun, the original, was on last night.
It's this one is getting actually really good reviews.
Is it?
It gives a good ode to the previous. The action scenes are still really, really good. But everybody is saying, because it's not out on streaming anywhere legally, you have to go see this one in the movie theater. And if by chance you can see it in an IMAX, the better.
Yeah,
it's got that kind of
I didn't
sound
love.
effects.
I
And
didn't
action.
love. I didn't love the original, but I'm not a Tom Cruise guy, so that's probably part of it.
Huh?
Yeah, I just never have gotten into him. So, I mean, Top Gun was fine. I've seen it
4,000 times.
Yeah, but probably
Sounds like you've
if-
lost that
if-
love and feeling for Top Gun.
I've probably only seen it in its entirety, maybe 2 or 3 times. There are particular scenes that I like, but I've probably only seen it start to finish twice.
Are you saying that the one scene you do like, you've used that pickup line before?
No, I was in middle school, and we sang that song on our way. We were playing it in Florida for baseball for Gladiators, and we sang that song probably 227 trillion times. I'm over that part. But like just last night, I stopped to hear the part where, where he got Jester and he flew below the deck.
Yeah.
And he was reprimanded by Tom Skerritt and requested permission for the flyby. And how Val Kilmer did the most annoying, low-key, like, oh, by the way thing ever in a movie that sticks in my craw. When he fake snapped his gum at Tom Cruise in the locker room. Like, that's the most annoying 1.5 second clip ever, because I would have slapped him just for no other reason than he looked like an idiot.
Val Kilmer played that character perfectly.
Yeah, that was
now
like
his son is in this movie. Shane, you might know this. Did Val Kilmer make a quick cameo in this one? I mean, he has had some health issues.
Well, I know
Shane just talked about how terrible he looked. He probably
I know there's a picture of him in it. There's like a picture of him on the wall because he's an admiral now. So, and Tom Cruise looks at a picture of him on the wall. I know that's in there. I don't know if he's in there personally in the movie. He probably is.
Is that a must see for you?
No. But I mean, here's the thing, and I told Gary this, and I was telling Mike Neville, our traffic guy, our afternoon traffic guy, this. I was telling him the other day.
And I'm Mike Neville.
The thing about this movie that is intriguing, or at least when it comes to Tom Cruise, I know you're not a Tom Cruise guy because you just said, but here's the thing that Tom Cruise has that most of these other 80s actors like Stallone is. And Neville brought up Stallone, so I'll give him that one. But like Stegall and Arnold and Bruce, even though Bruce has had some issues lately, so that made
Stegall like Beanie or
like Steven Stegall.
Seagal?
Yeah, Stegall.
Okay, keep going.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, Mel Gibson. There's a list here, but at least when it comes to those 80s guys like that, and you throw Tom Cruise in there, he at least appears to still care to a certain extent and still wants to make a good movie. So I would take that into consideration that he probably went out of his way and probably made this one of the best movies he could make. Just going down. I mean, because that's the feeling.
I don't think he'll ever top A Few Good Men.
Maybe not, but that's the feeling I get from
or Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That's the feeling I get from Tom Cruise. He at least still cares. He at least still cares and still wants to put a good product out there. So if you are going to go
still snapping at people,
that's Val.
No, he lost his mind.
Well, they were filming during COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he lost his loving feeling.
You need to close your eyes. Take your ass back to bed. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably.
It's a summer sequel.
Okay, and I'm sure there's the part where they parallel where somebody of significance dies and they have to recover. And I don't.
Well, they'd been wanting.
I don't want to go through all that.
They'd been wanting to make this movie for like 10 years.
Yeah,
but there was other circumstances that made it so they couldn't make the movie until about now. So,
So I did see
it. It never struck me as a movie where I was clamoring to have a sequel.
Yeah,
but I will go watch it because I'm one of the rare ones that probably I like the. I don't think it was his best movie. Again, Few Good Men is the top Tom Cruise movie.
Better than
I
the
like
Mission Impossibles?
Yes. Oh, I even think Magnolia is better than the original Mission Impossible.
Who was in Magnolia? Every time I hear Magnolia, I think of like
Steel Magnolias.
No, I think of Rap in the Dirty South. Magnolia.
So in Magnolia,
it's probably over both your heads.
So he was a pickup artist. He was like a motivational speaker who reconnects with his dying father. He was not likable, but he had great range. Like Ray Liotta passed away yesterday, and I was thinking about like Ray Liotta in the characters that he played in some of his best movies had like great range. Like you look at Ray Liotta could be a dark character, and then he could also be this like attractive, oh my gosh, smoking a cigarette in Goodfellas. You're like, women are like fainting.
He was
over
still
him.
a dark character in Goodfellas.
Yeah, but he could play both. He had great range. But here's the
I
thing.
just remember him being a creep and unlawful entry.
But here's the thing about Ray Liotta. If you agree with me or not, I don't know that Hollywood ever knew what to do with him.
Well, isn't he kind of a typecast guy?
He was, and then he wasn't.
You're saying for Goodfellas type of movies?
Yeah.
I didn't realize him and Bruce Willis are the same age.
And
67.
I was talking to my mom yesterday because I had to stop over there, and she's like on the she's probably talking to one of my sisters or something, and she's like showing me that it came across on her phone. I didn't realize she was such a fan, and I was walking into the bathroom, and I was like, "Golly, Bruce Willis and Ray Liotta, bad news on the same day." And Bruce Willis is still alive.
Yep.
Those videos were circulating.
Yeah, he's battling some health
where
issues.
he's just not doing very well.
No, I think Ray Liotta's a Hollywood legacy, and he's got a plethora of films. But you're right. The gangster was kind of where he got typecast from Goodfellas, and then the Sopranos movie that he did recently. But you look at, like, Henry Hill is one of the better characters of all time in Goodfellas. Just the moments of him. I mean, like little words, little phrases, actions. He didn't even have to say anything in that movie, and you're like, man, that's a dude. He was okay in Field of Dreams, but
Never saw it.
He will, to me, he will always be Goodfellas.
And I've never seen Cocktail. I do know what it's about because I've seen clips. But Josh says, and I would probably agree with this, range equals Cruise making Rain Man and Cocktail in the same year. Rain Man has got to be up there for one of his best movies. Shoot, Rain Man may be better than A Few Good Men. A Few Good Men was only good like for 40 minutes. Right? Am I misremembering?
I would go a little bit more.
That's a snoozer for like half of that show.
So if you're looking at it from the whole Tom Cruise experience, A Few Good Men gave you everything you wanted. Did you not had you had Tom Cruise as a lawyer, you had sports guy Tom Cruise, you had drunk Tom Cruise, you had uniform Tom Cruise. I was with somebody and we went and saw that movie, and she said that's the hottest Tom Cruise has ever looked. I mean, I should actually knock that down a couple. But I would think, like, the movies that stand out when I think of, like, Tom Cruise the actor, Color of Money. It was really
I
good.
don't even remember. I remember that. I remember, but I don't remember what it was about.
The movie that basically elevated Tom Cruise to where he is today into stardom was Risky Business.
Never saw that.
Did you ever see? We saw Jerry Maguire.
Oh yeah, which is maybe one of the greatest movies ever.
Did you ever see Collateral?
No.
He was a hitman.
No.
Yeah, no, that was
wow.
So you should I think you would like
Rain Man and Jerry Maguire have to be considerably better than A Few Good Men.
On my list, no.
Huh.
I think you would like Collateral, by the way. So he gets into he is a hitman, and Jamie Foxx is in the movie, and so he kidnaps.
Oh, that just came out a couple years ago.
He kidnaps Jamie Foxx
5 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, I do remember that.
But it's also
the mayor. He likes Magnolia. You referenced that earlier. I've never seen it. I'll Google. Magnolia.
One quick thing here about the
Google it. I am gonna Google it. Yeah. So
Nikki says saw the movie last night. Fantastic. I think she's referring to Val Kilmer had a 5-minute appearance.
Yeah. So Corey, he said that there's an article, and I was just reading that one earlier about it's on Yahoo News. He said there's an article out there from this week where Val Kilmer's about Val Kilmer's daughter. He does make a cameo, and apparently it was pretty emotional.
Surprisingly,
spoiler alert.
Surprisingly, in sequels, this is getting really good reviews. Because usually sequels are held, or most people are like,
especially for a movie that was so popular.
Well, yeah, and it's not really, it's not a movie that appeals to everybody. The reviews are really good. I have not run across many reviews that are like this. They should have never done this. Tom Cruise is washed up.
Yeah,
they're like this.
Well,
is
Shane,
really good.
allegedly, according to Shane, it's because he cares. Unlike Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal.
There's Chris in Vegas. Oh, Chris.
Morning, gentlemen. How are you today?
What's up, Chris?
Hey, y'all talking about Top Gun, the second one. It was supposed to be released the summer of 2020, and then COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
That movie's been sitting for over 2 years. And you mentioned that you thought that's one that Tom Cruise snapped in. No, he snapped when he was making Mission Impossible.
Oh, is that? Yeah, it was one of those, right? Where he
Yeah.
like lost his mind on the crew for not being responsible.
Yeah. And another movie you guys forgot was Born on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Never sat through it. That was back during a stretch, Chris, where it was hard for me to sit through war-themed movies. That's kind of not my deal.
I totally understand.
Hey, Chris, I'm glad you brought that up. He should have won the Oscar over Daniel Day-Lewis.
In 4th of July.
And Born on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, Chris.
I agree with you.
Chris, thanks for the call.
So it will be interesting to see if any of these other guys that are in the original Tom Cruise
Chris must
movie,
not sleep if he's still in Vegas.
didn't
he sell his house though?
That if any of the other guys like Tim Robbins or Meg Ryan, or I mean, there was a lot of people in the first movie, so it'd be interesting to see if any of the other people have cameos in the new one.
Meg
as well.
Ryan. Oh yeah, what's his bucket's wife?
Yeah.
I was thinking Kelly McGillis for a second.
Ed says in the Equitable Bank inbox about Rain Man.
She was in that one too. So
he goes, I liked Rain Man, but when I think of Rain Man, I don't immediately think of Tom Cruise. I think more of Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, but
and
Cruise
also,
was such a jerk sometimes.
Well, and that's what. So he goes on to say, he goes, I was not a big fan of Tom Cruise in this movie because he made me very uncomfortable with his portrayal. He said he came across as a Richard head.
I thought so. If you're asking me movie, so was Risky Business before or after The Outsiders? Risky Business was after?
Oh yeah, that was after.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm not.
But
Tom Cruise isn't on my he was great in The Outsiders.
He was, but he was not. So look who he was. He was sharing the screen with.
Yeah,
Emilio
but
Estevez,
we didn't really
Matt Dillon, and
know.
Ralph Macchio.
We didn't really know that those guys, like the Brat Pack, was going to be what they turned.
No,
like Thomas Howell wasn't anywhere near what he's going to end up being.
But then when he did Risky Business, that was all about Tom Cruise. Outsiders, really good movie, but he wasn't like a standalone.
I do remember him in that though.
So did I come in hard in the paint on that one? Just a little bit.
You're kind of weird.
We're
but
getting.
I like when you get into movies, Shane, because you're very particular.
We are getting votes for Minority Report.
I've never seen it.
And The Firm.
What about The Last Samurai? I mean, that guy playing. I mean, it fits with a guy that looks super Western, civilization-ish, which was what part of the story, right?
Brian says this is a sports show, right? What about All the Right Moves?
Never seen it. I've never seen it. I got to read this article. Hey, sent me.
So there's the one thing about All the Right Moves. Am I crazy, people, that it's one of the very rare, maybe only football movies where guys are defensive players? Look at all the football movies that you recall. Everybody's an offensive player. In All the Right Moves,
except for my favorite character, maybe ever in a football movie, Alvin Mack.
Okay, but
he may be my favorite football player in any movie. He's ahead of Beeman. He's ahead of Shark. He's ahead of Moxon. Last Boy Scout I liked. Yeah, man, I think
most football movies are offensive.
Yeah,
guys, that was All the Right Moves focused on the defensive side of the ball.
Mac way greater than Darnell. Jefferson, take care of that ball. Shoot, the two best characters in that movie were defensive guys with him and Latimer.
Yeah. War of the Worlds.
I like that movie.
Good movie.
I've not seen War of the Worlds.
Yeah, I've watched that on a plane.
What?
And I saw the original.
What year are we talking?
And it was not good. It was
like
on the Comedy Network on YouTube TV.
What year?
Probably like 15 or 16, maybe, Shane.
Yeah, like 10 years ago or something. I like it.
That was pretty good. Who's the little girl that I like in that movie? She grew up to kind of be weird.
Yeah, I like Edge of Tomorrow and Oblivion. Those are couple good Tom Cruise.
What
movies.
is Edge of Tomorrow?
That's got.
It was 05. War of the Worlds was 05.
Yeah,
Lisa says you guys. She said you will like it because it's a sports movie. Tom Cruise throws a baseball in it.
Hey, I got range. I don't. Oh, Dakota Fanning.
Dakota Fanning.
Yeah.
Edge of Tomorrow.
I had it nailed because I said she grew up to be kind of weird.
Not seeing this movie. Can I ask a follow-up question?
Yeah.
Does he really throw a baseball in War of the Worlds?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Through a window.
Yep.
Okay.
And that was in the very beginning, I think.
Well,
that's a good show.
We will see on. I mean, this is we might be back. You remember the summer blockbusters they come out on Memorial Day weekend, 4th of July.
Stack monster.
All right, 2 in the books, 2 to come. We'll give away another tabletop grill in this hour. Mike Sauter will stop by as well on Sharp Betting in the Morning at 1620 The Zone. Hey, coming up on the holiday weekend, you may be in need of a new vehicle. Well, you got a son or daughter that's headed off to school, and you want to have them with wheels, dependable wheels. Well, you can look no further than Woodhouse Buick GMC. Shop there first and shop with confidence. Now, the one great thing that they have done is they have streamlined the process so they make it easy on you to find the vehicle that meets your needs. That's right. They take care of you, Woodhouse Buick GMC. You'll find all of the cars, trucks, and SUVs. You're looking for that stylish SUV that the whole family can fit in? You'll find it in their climate-controlled indoor showroom at 119th and L, where it is so spread out, you don't feel like you're scrunched. Well, you can also go online to WoodhouseBuickGMC.com, and they have streamlined the process there as well. You can interact with the knowledgeable sales staff. You can value your trade. You can look at your different options. And, of course, you can see all the inventory. It is updated immediately online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. So put yourself behind the wheel of that car, truck, or SUV, new or new to you. Today, 119th and I, Woodhouse Buick GMC, or online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From LeBurton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More, time-saving traffic center. We have no accidents to report at this time, but you can expect a little bit of slowdown from 192nd to 180th along Center. Then on L, be prepared for a little bit of slowdown near 108th. And if you're traveling along Highway 370, be prepared for some major slowdowns near 150th. As always, remember to stay safe and wear your seatbelts. I'm Chris Scott.
This time-saving traffic was brought to you by Fernando's.
Come on, when was the last time you had your Fernando's fix? It doesn't get any better than lunch, dinner, carry out, even catering from Fernando's. Get your Fernando's fix. 114th and Dodge, 75th and Pacific, and FernandosOmaha.com.
Give your business a whole host of options with Host Coffee. The most impressive selection of office coffee, water options, healthy food options, and vending technologies. Host Coffee, serving you since 72.
Meet Caitlin and Adrian, a just-married couple that loves each other almost as much as I love windows. As a dedicated Pella window and door replacement advisor, I help guide them through our quality options and decide on the right choice for their style and budget.
For an exclusive offer, go to PellaOmaha.com/radio. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details. Offer ends May 31st.
Email Sharp and Benning on Equitable Bank inbox with your love, your hate, whatever your hot takes are. We're here for you. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
Make sure your AC leaves you in the cold this summer by joining McCarthy's 1-hour heating and air conditioning's Comfort Club. For one low monthly fee, you get a twice yearly AC and furnace inspection, plus discounts on repairs, a 90-day breakdown fee guarantee, and you always go to the front of the line when things get busy. Plus, your fees will never increase for the life of the membership. The weather's getting hot. Stay cool with McCarthy's 1-hour heating and air conditioning. Always on time, or you don't pay a dime. McCarthy's1hour.com.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
When using an ATM, you probably don't let strangers look over your shoulder. But experts at the Office of the Comptroller say thieves may watch without you knowing it. Thieves can use card readers to skim or steal account information and tiny cameras to watch you type in your ID number. To reduce your risk, beware of any unusual or suspicious devices attached to card reading machines, and cover the keypad when entering your PIN. For more information, visit helpwithmybank.gov.
The Connor Happer Show.
Sam, would you agree that onions are the most valuable vegetable?
Yeah, they're valuable. Broccoli's awfully valuable too. I don't know. I mean, I think onions way up there. Certainly a versatile operation.
That's what we're looking for.
One thing you can't do with onions is you can't really have them as a side dish. And broccoli, you can. Usually onions are part of a dish. You don't have an onion salad, and you'd be hard pressed to find a better salad on the planet than a broccoli, bacon, cranberry salad. That's one heck of a salad.
The Connor Happer Show. Weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620 The Zone.
Halftime, Sharp and Benning in the morning on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com. Brought to you by Har Cigars, Pipes, and Lounge. Great place to kind of just relax, unwind, enjoy a nice cigar, nice cocktail. Great location off the North 48th Street exit off of Mormon Bridge Road. And as Damien, our caller, will tell you, located right next to Cubby's.
You need to watch Collateral this weekend.
Getting a lot of run for Collateral. It's actually on my timeline a fair amount.
So, do you think that Tom Cruise's career, which he's had a really, really good career, would be better if he would play more a-hole characters?
Well,
so, Collateral, he plays an assassin named Vincent, and it's one of his best. He was a tunnel visioned assassin would be the best way to describe him in that movie.
What was he in Minority Report? Do you know?
He was a good guy.
Was he a good guy?
Yeah. So you really here's what you need for a Tom Cruise movie. You got to have one intense scene where there's some intense dialogue back and forth. You have to have a scene where he's running for at least a block or two. Just straight out running, sprinting.
Like Forrest Gump or what?
Yeah. Because every movie he's got to have a running scene, some kind of jogging, he's running from something that's going to blow up. You get that in there, you're probably going to have a pretty good Tom Cruise movie. I don't know how he's going to work that into Top Gun.
He would be one of those guys that it would be hard to pick his best movie. He's had some good ones, man, for a guy that I don't. He's not my thing, but man, he's had some. You know how much money Mission Impossible have made, the series? Like, that dude stays paid.
And there's when's the next one coming out?
There's two of them coming out. It's a two-parter.
We're in his wheelhouse.
It's I believe it's I think the 6th or 7th one, so this will be like the 8th and 9th one. So it'll be 9 total, I think.
Have you ever watched the TV series Mission Impossible? Because this is where it came from.
No.
Not.
Was Jack Reacher any good?
Not for. Yeah, Jack Reacher is pretty good.
Is he a good guy or a bad guy?
Good guy.
Okay. Jack
Reacher's the same, loosely the same thing as Mission Impossible. So
seems like there's some overlappings here.
The one
Tropic Thunder is getting run. That was
I've never seen it.
That was his first movie. Wasn't that after remember when he was with Oprah and he jumped on the couch? Remember when we went through the whole Scientology thing?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Him and Katie Holmes.
That movie's a little controversial.
But also, so if you go back, so Tropic Thunder, I think in Tom Cruise's career is an interesting moment.
The Firm, Days of Thunder, which a lot of people like, but never seen Days of Thunder.
But Tropic Thunder, like Tom Cruise 13, 14 years ago was starting to lose some juice. And then Tropic Thunder, like he had the thing with Oprah, jump on the couch and that, because he had Lions for Lambs, which was a movie that was absolutely terrible.
Well, there's a lot of those movies that don't. I mean, Days of Thunder might be getting a run, but problem with a movie like that is it doesn't stand the test of time. It just doesn't.
Why is that? Do I even ask?
I mean, it's
more or less than Interview with a Vampire, which my brother liked.
It's a good movie, but even I tried watching that like over the summer last summer. I was like, it's kind of outdated now a little bit. Just the way it's made.
Was The Firm good?
I like The Firm.
I hadn't seen it. I was just in college, so I wasn't watching a lot of.
If you like scenes from the city of Memphis,
is that where it was shot?
If you like, name just escaped me. He's passed away. Wilford Brimley. Wasn't Ned Beatty Shane in that?
The guy that played the old sheriff?
Mm-hmm.
Wilford Brimley? Didn't he? What was his commercial? Was it UNICEF? No.
Like
the Ethiopian kids? What did he do? He did something.
Oatmeal, maybe.
I can see I can see it.
And don't get at me if you're out there because I do like Days of Thunder, but it is outdated.
Have you ever watched Billions?
No.
Okay. If you watch Billions, The Firm will make sense.
Mm.
Those are a couple that are very similar. Chad the Cop says about Tom Cruise's career, not that he needs the money, but if Tom Cruise started playing the villain roles, he would resurrect a career that really doesn't need it. But you get the point. Gene Hackman was in The Firm as well. Pretty good cast.
I like Gene Hackman for what it is. I keep telling you, man, The Chamber was one of the more underappreciated Gene Hackman movies of all time.
All right, so we've got you. The one movie that you should watch is Collateral this weekend.
Okay.
A little dark.
Maybe edge it tomorrow.
A lot of killing in it. And you're also going to be taken back a little bit because Tom Cruise has gray hair in it. So familiarize yourself with Vincent. You got Jamie Foxx driving a taxi. And you also have Tom Cruise as Mr. Hot Take Artist in it as well. He's got opinions on a lot of different things.
Noted.
But he's set to make, this could be a huge weekend for Top Gun. If it's not, yeah.
Is Memorial Day a big movie weekend?
Yes.
Okay. I just keep learning.
And they have been promoting this. I mean, this feels like pre-COVID when they would build up the blockbusters, whether they come out on Christmas or in the summer, that you have, 3-4 weeks where everybody is making the tour of media and you see all the trailers. I mean, look at how many different trailers were released for this Top Gun.
Well, it's the weekend that you want. I mean, it's obvious because you get the extra day in there. So your weekend, your weekend is expanded by one day and everybody's excited and summer's here, all that kind of stuff. This is the weekend traditionally that the big first movie of the summer would be out.
Well, and you got racing this weekend. You got Monaco.
Yeah.
And then you got the Indy 500, which has got the best trophy in racing. And you got a guy on the pole that went 234 miles an hour and thinks he can go faster. And IndyCar racing is starting to make a comeback. And then you have 600 miles of racing in Charlotte with a sport that there's a lot of people that are worried that NASCAR is in trouble. Fan base is aging a little bit. They
should have my man Pete Pistone on. He's the NASCAR junkie.
How you know Pete?
Oh, we've done work together.
Well, we can get Pete on.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
But the problem, like
he's right over there in Chicago too, and he knows everything. Like he's the racing guru.
See, I like watching NASCAR, but their most dynamic drivers are not winning, and that's not helping. And it is that sport gets more and more expensive by the day.
So, like a lot of Michelle Wees and Kornikovas and
like the names that kind of a fringe NASCAR person would recognize.
It's Michelle Wee West.
That they would recognize are not winning. And there's
Danica
also
Patrick.
There's
How
also
does
the
that
part
happen?
that
How
they
do
don't
people
win?
get so popular without winning much?
Well, their drivers have won, but they're not, and they've elevated themselves to some of the most popular drivers, but they're not winning right now. Plus, there's the other thing about
we need Steve.
There's the thing about all of our sports in our
Today's going
life
to be NASCAR, Steve.
is the races are too damn long.
Shane, is that true?
Now, this is the longest race at 600 miles, but the races are long. Oh my God, we were playing baseball till 2:16 in the morning. Let's go. Pick it up. Pick it up, sports.
John in our Equitable Bank Zone inbox wants to know if Steven is related to Casey Stengel.
Keep it moving. Yes, Shane, about NASCAR. They also lack a very dynamic figure.
What, like a flock of seagulls over there? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, it's so childish. Sometimes you just click on it.
NASCAR races can be too long.
Stiegel.
And they, a lot of them go into the overtime, and then they, you get the rain delay. Some of the worst stuff is when
I just wish the race was as long as they said it was going to be. It doesn't ever seem like it is.
Well, they could be shorter.
These
They
go
could be
forever.
longer. And they could go forever. The worst stuff is when they start doing the fuel mileage countdown. Like, okay, we haven't had anything happen for the last hour and a half, 2 hours, and these guys haven't pitted, so we're gonna think that this guy's gonna run out of gas in about 4 laps.
Listen,
they're just counting laps down until these guys run out of
What
gas.
NASCAR needs is what elevated Formula One in this country. They need a Netflix behind-the-scenes series. I don't know if that'll help NASCAR because, again, that's a fan base that can attract younger fans. But look how people talk about Formula One like it's our sport. And it comes here, it went to Austin, it went to Miami, it's going to be in Vegas. You would think that there's much talk of Formula One in this country, that it is a U.S. sport. But what did it elevate in this country? They did a Netflix series. And everybody started
I
going,
never even heard about it.
and everybody went, whoa, Formula One. And then all of a sudden it took off. I mean, NASCAR, hey, I'm a fringe sport. I'd convince Netflix to do a behind-the-scenes series on me to try and increase our attention.
Well,
I'm trying not to go down this Val Kilmer rabbit hole.
Our boss went to the Kansas race a few weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I was talking to him about it, and he said that, and this is one thing, I mean, this is just a little nitpick of it, but I'm sure it probably doesn't help the sport at all. He said it had rained because it had rained for a couple of days there beforehand, and so they just had grass parking, so everybody was stuck just getting in and out. You couldn't get in, you couldn't get out. You had to have a 4-wheel drive just to get to the race. I mean, there's little things like that doesn't help NASCAR.
So his little TL probably wasn't cutting it.
No, but I think he took the SUV. But
Oh,
he
he's got
said
one
he
of those
said
too?
he said my little 20-year-old car wouldn't have made it 10 foot into the parking lot. I would have been stuck like
a pig.
Yes.
They also need to go faster in NASCAR.
No, they don't.
Look at the open wheel racing, 234 miles an hour. NASCAR needs to open it back up. Speed kills.
In the SEC.
The one thing that makes NASCAR exciting is the one thing that they cleaned up, which they needed to, but you need to have the wrecks. Plain and simple. You need to have the wrecks. You do. That's the one thing. I mean, and to avoid the wrecks, I mean, it's the excitement, it's the danger. Look at the movie. You go back to the movie Days of Thunder. That's what they made that movie because of that. And they centered it around wrecks. That sort of stuff. I mean, I'm just throwing the truth out there.
Hey,
that's what people like.
Hey, this is
and people won't say it.
Expensive sport. Go out and wreck a couple of cars.
They don't want you to wreck. I'm just saying a little bit more bumping and grinding instead of just I mean, you got to have, instead of just going around.
R. Kelly's doing 25 to life because of that.
Just going around in circles. I mean, you got to have a little bit of bumping and grinding.
What?
Rubbing and racing.
Thank you.
You can call it that too. Whatever you want to call it.
Bumping and grinding is.
Thank
again,
you.
There are people that are taken off the racetrack, so to speak, when you are bumping and grinding, but we'll just go with rubbing and racing.
What's the difference?
Semantics.
Damon will explain to you in the break.
I don't get it. What's the difference?
We're going to give, we'll go to a break. You can discuss it, and then we'll come back, and Damon will give his meat away.
Yeah.
Tabletop Grill up next, 951-1620. Start dialing now.
Frank's Pizzeria has a new location. Just like their original location at 132nd and West Dodge, their new location at 72nd and Q is making the same delicious New York pizza. At Frank's Pizzeria, they make their dough fresh every day and top it with handmade sauce, fresh ingredients, and top-shelf buffalo mozzarella cheese. They even make their own Italian sausage. Wash it down with a cold beer and awesomeness ensues. Frank's Pizzeria for nearly 20 years at 132nd and West Dodge. And now, check out their new location at 72nd and Q.
Yeah, it's that time of year, right? We're just talking about grills and griddles. A lot of folks are outside cooking. It'll be a top 10 day today and a great weekend to get out there and cook. If you're on the grill, maybe the smoker, and you're looking for some buns, some quality to go with that protein, how about Rotella's? Take advantage of the holiday. Maybe you're going to gear up for Father's Day. Maybe it's about tailgating for that great big tournament downtown. Whatever you need some Rotellas to go with it, from burgers to brats to hot dogs to pulled pork, whatever you need, right? The bun styles, it fits. Brioche, the hoagie rolls, whatever you want to do, Rotellas make sure that you've got options. You don't have to just be stuck to doing one kind of thing. That's what Rotellas can do for you. You don't do it as well as they have for over 100 years. And not be accommodating. That's exactly who they are. Take advantage of it. Stop on out to your nearest grocer or visit rotellasbakery.com.
Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Early fog this morning will give way to mostly sunny skies for your afternoon. Warming up today with a high of 80 degrees in Omaha with southeasterly winds up to 15 miles an hour. Tonight, mostly clear skies becoming partly cloudy, becoming breezy as well, but mild. A low in Omaha of 61. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. We have no accidents to report at this time, but you can expect a little bit of slowdown from 192nd to 180th along Center. Then on L, be prepared for a little bit of slowdown near 108th. And if you're traveling along Highway 370, be prepared for some major slowdowns near 150th. As always, remember to stay safe and wear your seatbelts. I'm Chris Scott.
This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Lanahaw Nurseries.
No better time than now to focus on your garden or landscape. Come shop Lanahaw's Garden Center, filled with the area's best quality plants, flowers, and trees. Rooted in quality, unmatched value. Lanahaw Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
The Hyundai lineup is electrified with the widest range of electric, hybrid, and plug-in hybrid vehicles on the market, from the electric when you want it to the gas when you need it. Hyundai Tucson Hybrid to the all-electric 2022 Hyundai Ioniq 5. When you shop Hyundai, you'll benefit from Hyundai Owner Assurance with America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Place a priority order at Woodhouse Hyundai of Omaha in-store off 144th and Giles Road or online at woodhousehyundaiofomaha.com.
You're on your own path. It's what makes you, you. But especially now, most of us could use a little help finding our path forward. At Metropolitan Community College, we're stepping up to meet you where you are today, keeping you earning while you learn, and lending support like extra aid and scholarships. It's a chance to thrive, to change your career, finish your degree, or knock out your gen eds. Your path forward starts now. Learn more at mccnev.edu/thrive.
KFC knows that when it comes to chicken sandwiches, there's good and there's finger-licking good.
A chicken sandwich? That's good. A 100% white meat KFC chicken sandwich so delicious it forces you to rethink everything you know about sandwiches, including whether or not they even need buns, but then you remember how good a brioche bun can be and then having to rethink your rethinking? That's finger-licking good.
KFC's chicken sandwich, always served hot and crispy, and your choice of classic or spicy. Order now on the KFC app. Kentucky Fried Chicken, that's finger-licking good.
Prices and product availability may vary.
Join Blur Parties at Hilton Omaha this June as we host a premier college baseball championship tailgate. Experience an all-inclusive full bar and buffet, TV, music, and a variety of tailgate games. Book a corporate tailgate event or just hang out with friends. The best part is we're located on the south side of Charles Schwab Field at the Hilton Omaha. Visit blurparties.com to buy tickets or to find out about sponsorship opportunities. That's blurparties.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Make the right call, fans. The Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Rooferees.
When using an ATM, you probably don't let strangers look over your shoulder. But experts at the Office of the Comptroller say thieves may watch without you knowing it. Thieves can use card readers to skim or steal account information and tiny cameras to watch you type in your ID number. To reduce your risk, beware of any unusual or suspicious devices attached to card reading machines and cover the keypad when entering your PIN. For more information, visit helpwithmybank.gov.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
Sharp and Betting in the morning on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, and the 1620 The Zone app.
How powerful is the NFL, Damon?
It's pretty powerful, Gary.
Never in my lifetime the Sugar Bowl has started at 11 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the NFL on December 31st. The Sugar Bowl will begin at 11 a.m.
Are they mad?
I think they'd be a little upset. New Orleans, 11 a.m. Sugar Bowl?
Give them time to have recovered from the night before and then ramp up for the night preceding.
Oh, I guess it'd be kind of like the Big Ten baseball tournament right now.
You're such a hater.
No,
You're such a hater.
Pick it up. Let's go. 9 a.m.
I'm watching. You guys, you and Connor making fun of me for watching baseball. That's fine.
You're watching the obscure.
I'm watching whatever's in the rotation.
Florida Atlantic and UTSA.
Yeah, I did for a little bit until I flipped over to Okie State and Baylor. Shannon's not allowing me to enter the studio on StreamYard, so as you can see, it's breaking me up inside. Actually, I couldn't care less, but it's whatever. Yes? Do you want to say something? You
On
just
the
want to play with
invite?
the microphone. Figure it out.
So the invite didn't work, the old invite?
I mean, I was in there once, but I was
Right.
tired of hearing the audio, so I removed myself. Do you have to send another link?
Here is
By the way, Stacy McGilligan says that there is absolutely a running scene in Top Gun, the new one. So look forward to that. Hopefully,
at least you nailed that.
Hopefully there'll be a dramatic, dialogue scene of some
She's
sort in
seen
there.
Top Gun already? How
Apparently.
long's it been out? A couple days?
Yesterday.
Oh, she ran and went, huh?
Some people got special invites.
Yeah.
Could have done the red carpet thing.
By the way, speaking of which, how was the event last night? Did you have a lot of fun? Schmoozing, hobnobbing?
I did at the Omaha Sports Commission OSCAs.
Yeah.
It was a great event. Those people do a really good job. First time I've ever been there. First time I was ever nominated, and had a wonderful time. It was really cool. Got to see a lot of people that listen to our show that we talk about that are coaches and athletes. So
we had a show nominated once.
Yes.
It didn't win either.
No. I got beat out by Stu Pospisil.
But he's been doing it for 64 years.
That's what Sam. I feel like it was one-sided because it was first of all named aptly put after Steve Pivovar, but it was Sam McEwen was presenting, and a guy from the World Herald won. How did a guy from 1620 have a chance?
Yeah,
I'm just asking. No, it was a great event.
Don't worry, I don't win anything either.
Sat at the same table as Gabe Heinrichs from Elkhorn South.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, him and his father was there, and his head coach at Elkhorn South. Young man's got a bright future. He's going to Notre Dame. So, yeah, it was cool. Garrett Grice was there. Got Jason Green, his parents were there.
Grice is a stud.
Coach Flannery, Coach Booth.
Jason Green's parents, Robert. They are good people.
Robert, taller than his son.
They live. So is Casey. Almost
close. Yes. Coach Cannon was there. They honored the 2003 Millard North football team.
Yeah, they were legit. Top 5 of all time.
And you know what was cool? So Coach Petito was there, and I walked in right after him, and we talked a little bit. But I bet they had 30 guys from that 03 team that were there last night.
Top 5 of all time.
Yeah, it's
maybe top 3 or 4.
It was a really cool event. The Omaha Sports Commission does a really good job with that. They had some inductees into the Hall of Fame. They did it at the Relevant out in Elkhorn.
Yeah,
off of Maple.
It's a nice. It's not far from.
So Fred Hare,
yes,
his son gave a video presentation. Fred passed away about 8 years ago. Camara Barti went into the Hall of Fame. Also, Joanne Kappas from Bellevue West, most notably volleyball. She spoke for a long time. And then the 03 Millard North football team went in.
That was a very good team. You got 85 Prep, 82 West Side, 03 Millard North, and that 14 North team. About it.
And speaking of Millard, so Harrison Phillips also got like an award.
Yeah.
And he's cock diesel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there ain't a lot of fat on that boy. By the way, he'll be stopping in studio here shortly.
How was the food?
They had appetizers beforehand, open bar.
Was it
good.
heavy appetizers?
I didn't eat much, but they when they were walking around with the appetizers, it looked like a good selection.
Nice.
But it was a really, really cool event. I was just happy to be nominated. But Nick and myself, we ran runner up to Stu in an award that had the World Herald written all over it.
Yeah,
not bid or anything. That's okay. But it was really cool to see a lot of people that we interact with, that we cover.
You're like, hey, I know about you. I talk about you all the time.
Yeah, I mean, Bennington football was up for numerous awards.
Yeah,
Garrett Grice won the Male Athlete of the Year. There's a guy that's cock diesel.
Hey, he is. He's pretty amazing. He's going to age well.
And then also just reiterated how great volleyball is in this town, Papio South and Scott. But Coach Flannery, Creighton women's basketball, won a couple awards. He won the Male Coach of the Year.
We have another couple. We got a couple of defensive movies for football. I told Asian Wife, said The Water Boy, and Remember the Titans.
Okay, it's just rare to have a football movie. That
I'm with you.
Defense.
I'm with you.
Somebody said Rudy as well. Rudy looked like to be positionless. When you say be positionless, all right. Before we give away your,
He didn't look like a nickel will.
He looked like a Sam.
The meat is so big.
He looked like a Mike.
Look at this guy. He's moseying on in.
Oh boy, the show just went downhill. All right. Here is Ramon before we give away something.
Razor Ramon.
Hello, Ramon.
Hello, fellas.
How you doing?
What's up, Ramon?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I was listening to you guys talk about when movies came out, and I just want to say I completely relate to the middle-aged tendency to underestimate how long ago things happened. Damon said Collateral came out about 4 or 5 years ago. Collateral came out 18 years ago.
Was it really? Well, and War of the Worlds was 05. I thought that was like 15 or 14.
Yeah, Damon, your answer is always, well, about 4 or 5 years ago.
Hey, but listen, though, you know why, Ramon? I'm going to be honest.
Why?
Because I never see things right when they come out.
Uh-huh.
It usually takes about a year or two, unless it's Marvel or DC.
That happens to me with people's kids all the time. If I haven't seen them in a while, I'm always thinking of kids about 12, and they're like 30.
Ramon, thanks for the phone call. Have a great weekend.
Oh, man. My man's got a sense of humor.
Hey, wait till a couple of years from now and you find out what happened in the Nebraska 21 football season.
Yeah, when I finally watch it.
Yeah, Collateral 2004. You're going to watch it this weekend, and I want to report back.
I'm not a huge Jamie Foxx guy either. Law-Abiding Citizen was fantastic, as was
Jada Pinkett Smith is in Collateral.
I was just going to say
Jada Pinkett Smith is Jada Pinkett Smith from 20 years ago is pretty amazing.
Well, that was about 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Jada Pinkett Smith from like yesterday that said she doesn't really even like Will Smith and it kind of controls him. Jada Pinkett Smith, not my favorite. Will needs to grow up. Plus, your kids are grown. Leave her.
You know what I'm glad? Hey, hold on 1 second here. You know what?
I'm just saying, like, she's put him, that's like miserable.
You're foreshadowing?
No, but
Okay.
she said she didn't like him. Like, didn't really, I don't know. She just says too much.
Hey, I'm glad I didn't win last night.
Why?
What if somebody would have pulled a Will Smith on me?
Wow.
They're on stage, give my
Would you have told
acceptance
would somebody have been telling a bad joke about you?
I don't know. There was, and the acceptance speeches were pretty good, but they always said keep it to 2 minutes. I had mine. I was pulling out like a CVS receipt. It is time to give away our last tabletop grill of the week. going into your extended weekend, the unofficial start to the summer. As you've done, as some have succeeded and others have failed to guess Damon's meat.
Yeah.
Here's your opportunity. Last time, Nate, and Dave, we have a line open if you'd like to get in the hopper.
And I know how to get all the meat off a bone. Yeah, I do. With this particular meat, sometimes I leave the bone in. Sometimes I take them out. In my opinion, when done well, it is very, very good. A lot of people prefer braised. I have got some new recipes where I use a marinade. My friend Asian Wyatt helps me. Now, for people like Johnny the Pig who are very particular, right? I think if I'm talking about hamburger and it's ground chuck, and he wants me to differentiate between the two, right? Chuck roast versus hamburger.
Yep.
There are usually 3 different kinds of this particular cut. There's the back, there's the chuck, and then there's the the back, there's the chuck. Then probably the most expensive would be the plate.
Okay.
Okay. So 3 places that you can get it from.
Here, I need to look at this. Okay. Now that makes sense.
For me, they're intimidating because I used to not know what to do with them. They can be thick, so depending on how you like them, they're kind of the afterthought because in the pig there's multiple other options.
Mm-hmm.
So when people think these, they're like, you don't get enough meat, but you can get them very tender. Like I said, some people like them braised, some people like them slowly done, low and slow to get the tender. But remember, there are 3 different kinds: the plate, the beef, and the chuck.
All right.
Okay. It has a lot to do with Shane. Has a ton to do with Shane. This would be his particular favorite.
This may be the clue that just gave it away. We'll find out. Here is Nate.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Nate.
Hello.
Hello, Nate.
How are you guys?
I'm good.
We're good, Nate.
I'm good. I just figured out how to prepare these probably about a year ago.
Are they the like a pork chop?
They are not. It is not a pork chop.
Here is Nate number 2. Hello, Nate number 2.
Hello.
Hello. Sound like Nate number 1.
What is this meat that Damon is describing?
Pork rib.
Incorrect.
All right.
Dan is like batting 1,000.
In guessing your meat?
Oh, yeah.
How is he familiar with your meat? Their history there? You've cooked for him or something?
No.
Here's Luke. Hello, Luke.
Hello.
Hello, Luke.
Everybody's hello.
Luke.
What's up, Luke? What cut of meat am I talking about?
Pork tenderloin.
Incorrect.
Luke.
We're not even in the same hemisphere.
Luke, you are not the father of Damon's meat.
Wow.
Here is Dave. Hello, Dave.
Hey, boys. How you doing?
Good, Dave. What's up?
Good. Is it a French bone chop?
It is not.
Ooh. I like the variety of that answer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, your meat's becoming very difficult here.
I don't think a lot of people know what to do with them.
How long have you gone without? This might be an all-time record that you've gone this far without people guessing your meat.
Yeah. So nobody's gotten them on the first 3 guesses all week.
No.
Maybe I'm just a bad clue giver.
You want to give one more clue, or do you want to just roll through these?
I think we should just roll.
All right. Here is Eric. Hello, E.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Good, Eric.
What am I describing?
Is it a short rib?
It is the short rib.
Nice job, Eric.
Eric, I got to ask you, though. I was a little intimidated by this at first because I'm not a braised, slow cook guy. So I got into like these Korean short ribs because there's a restaurant in town that has them as an appetizer, and they're fantastic. How do you do short ribs?
I have done them once. It did not turn out good. So
Yeah.
I was in your boat, so I need to Keep trying.
They're tough. They are. I was about over my first 3. I almost got away from it, but when done right, Franklin, they're fantastic.
They're amazing.
Yeah, I do a Korean
Absolutely.
short rib now.
Amazing.
Hey, Eric, thanks for listening to the show, and congratulations. I hope you enjoy the Tabletop Grill.
Hey, thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
Hey, thanks.
We'll put you on hold, Eric. and then,
Asian Wyatt really helped me nail it.
Oh, how to cook it?
Yeah, just the marinade. You only need like 4 or 5 hours in the marinade, and it's pretty unbelievable. I told a joke because they call for Asian pears, and I said, "Hey, can I get away with not using an Asian pear?" And that like turned into a joke.
So you can just use a normal pear?
Yeah, I could use an agent.
How about not?
How you doing, Shane?
Oh my gosh.
Short ribs. How about Sharpie saying that would give it away? That's tough.
Is Shane walking in there?
Shane, would you like a short rib, Shane?
Sugar Shane. He's followed on Twitter.
They're hard to do, I think, but when they're done right.
Oh, come on, Shane.
All right, coming up next is Mike Sauter. We
Sugar
got
Shane.
Verse coming up in the last hour, and then Sean Devaney. Half of the NBA finals are set. Golden State and probably Boston after tonight. Again, if you're trying to keep track of baseball, Creighton plays later today. They got rained out yesterday. Omaha plays at 6:05 tonight against Oral Roberts in Tulsa, and Nebraska's not playing at the Big Ten tournament.
Wow, really?
Well, just remind people. And sometimes people are, not paying attention.
Did you think that they forgot, or?
Well, I think the whole Nebraska baseball program forgot they were supposed to be in the tournament this year.
Wow.
There's some guys that are forgetting that they ever played at Nebraska, looking at what Will's doing to his roster.
Tough crowd.
Nebraska baseball.
Yeah, they lost another 6 the other day.
If you're a junior college player, we've got a home for you. He ain't messing around in 23. I'm telling you.
No.
They had a bad experience this year. That head coach is not messing around. All right, 8:42. Sauter's coming next on Sharp and Betting in the Morning.
Would you rather that your roof or siding last 5 years or 50 years? I'm Dan Thompson of Thompson & Thompson, third generation. Products today last much longer. Gone are the days of just tear shingles off, nail shingles on. Whether it's impact resistant, high wind tolerance, or in the case of EuroShield hail-proof rubber shingles, you can have great designer looks and durability. At Thompson & Thompson third generation, we don't just give you an estimate. We educate you and give you options. So you decide, 5 or 50. Click Thompson Third today and start enjoying your new roof or siding.
Hey, it is baseball season. You know that big college baseball championship that's going to be in town before long. Tickets for Less, formerly Ticket Express. It's where I go to get my tickets. And by the way, you can comparison shop and you'll find out why Tickets for Less is the best. Right now, you can save 10% on the college baseball championship for a limited time at ticketsforless.com. Use promo code CWS10 at checkout to save 10% on any college baseball championship ticket order. Now, this deal won't last long, so you have to act. The code again is CWS10. Don't let all those Tennessee fans come into town and take those tickets. Get them now. Promo code CWS10 at checkout. Find your college baseball championship tickets at ticketsforless.com. Plus, if you're selling your tickets, don't hang out outside of the ballpark. Tickets for Less is buying. Call now, 402-398-1999, or get an offer on your seats today. Again, if you're selling your tickets, Tickets for Less is currently paying top dollar for seats at the Chuck. No need to list the seats yourself. Just call 402-398-1999 to get an offer today. That's ticketsforless.com. All right, 8:46. Sharp Betting in the morning. Last show of the week. We're off on Monday, so don't get up at 6. We won't be up.
I will.
Why? Getting ready for the Dublin game?
Yeah, I don't think I can sleep past 4.
I can get to about 7:30 on the weekends.
Are you guys going?
Yeah.
Pretty dark.
Like when
Plus,
I get
there's
up?
nobody in your house, so you're going to get absolute silence. Well, nobody. I mean, if they're there, it's by choice.
Let's talk to she's listening. All right, here is Mike Sauter. How you doing? That's an odd note to bring in.
Hey, more like it'd be her choice. Oh, that makes more sense now. What's up, Mike?
I think I was going to say something, but I'll just keep it to myself.
Here's one thing I've learned this week about her is her son just graduated from Westside. Man, when you graduate from high school, I don't know that I was like this. You are free as a bird. Like you are doing things you would never have done. You're exploring the world, so to speak. But that's good. That we all did that once we were out of high school.
Mike, what time do your girls get up?
Up, I don't know. Go to bed.
What the?
You don't know when your girls get up?
Yeah, my wife takes care of that generally in the morning.
So you don't hear anything? What are you in a chamber?
Okay, I am a stay upper, not a wake upper. I snooze for an hour in the morning. Like unless I gotta be somewhere or like catch a flight or something, I like to snooze. I don't like waking up. It takes me a while to wake up. I normally, I think my kids wake up about 6:30.
Okay. Did you just see no parts of that, huh?
Yeah, no. I'd rather stay up until 1 or 2 than wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning.
So you passed on going to California this weekend?
I'm not going to California this weekend. I believe the conversation went something like, yeah, you're going to be gone a lot in June and July. And then I kind of looked at, past June and July into August and September and all that. And it was a family decision. How about that? That I needed to stay back this weekend and not go anywhere.
That's the best way to describe it. So we've done a good job of fixing the state basketball championships. We got them out of the high school. We got 4 days. We get Devaney and Pinnacle Bank. I'm not as well versed on the state track and field as I am basketball to speak on it, but I've got more feedback this week. There's the 4-day state track and field where they do A, B, and then they do C, D. There are the A's and the B's, the larger class. Would love to have that championship Saturday back. Do you think there'll be some tweaking to the state track and field setup?
Yeah, I think they always do a good job of, receiving feedback and adjusting from it. It would now. Here's why it was Wednesday and Thursday, or I was told why it was Wednesday and Thursday for A and B, because A and B has about 50% less schools, which means less fans, less parking, all of that, and OPS is still in school, and they still have school. So that, I think, is part of the reason why that decision was for Wednesday and Thursday for A and B. There just isn't as many fans and as many participants at all as there is in C and D. So, hey, I agree. It would have been a lot cooler to have the 100 final on Saturday at 2:00 versus Thursday at whatever time it was. Probably would have brought a little more juice as far as just fans and people paying attention to it in the Class A version. But at the same time, you got to kind of understand why they did it. And frankly, it was, again, like the basketball tournament, it was what was overwhelmingly majority of schools wanted, was this format, this setup. So that's why they did it.
A little bit of a transition going into June, right? The high school basketball picks up. Summer basketball slows down. Football, though, picks up quite a bit. What was the decision to bring back your 7-on-7 tournament?
I was asked to. So we're not doing. People may or may not know this, but I had what I called a 7-on-7 state championship years ago. COVID came, whatever kind of stopped it. But even I think the last one was 2019 was the last one I did it. But it was great. I invited everybody in the state to come. We had about 40 teams. Kind of handed it over after I was told at the other place that I worked at that they didn't want to do it anymore. So I handed it over to somebody else, and COVID and all that stuff happened. So, anyway, I'm bringing it back this year. I invited about 20 to 25 teams. We got 6 teams that said yes. It is going to be the NEB Prep 7s powered by Battle, my good friends at Battle. And it is, as the plans are being laid out, it is the coolest, best experience that a 7-on-7 tournament that we've seen around here.
Ooh, that's a huge statement, because that's a burgeoning business.
Yeah, that the goal is to have it be the best experience that any coaches or athletes have experienced in this area. As far as 7-on-7 is concerned, we're talking 4 referees per field, a field manager. We're talking tents for each individual team with like a player's lounge. Jerseys are provided, all of that. So it is, I am very excited about it. Obviously, Battle has ran events like this throughout the country, and they're bringing their model, but for a scholastic event to Omaha on June. Well, I guess it's going to Lewis Central because I couldn't get a field in Omaha on June 24th and 25th. 24th will be the pool play, and the 25th will be the tournament, if you will.
All right, we are back, baby.
My bad, Franklin. With all the movement that's gone on, and with high school basketball starting in terms of summer leagues, who are you interested in seeing?
I want to see Central and what that looks like. I want to see, just kind of what that is. Next weekend is the Bryan Shootout. Central is in it. I got the bracket for it. So Central and like Southeast is in it. And obviously Bryan is in it, and they had some movement too. Bryan is going to be really intriguing next year, just with Martin and Bynum are going to be that those two together are probably 2 of the more talented freshmen in the city, if not state. And now they're on the same team. So that'll be kind of fun to see. So I think those 2 are the ones that I'm the most intrigued by. I think we kind of know, what Westside is going to look like, even though there's a lot of roster change there with just graduations, and it'd be kind of not new faces, but bigger roles with those faces. Obviously, CJ being out for a while, someone else is going to have to step up for them. That's, those are kind of intriguing. Prep is always an interesting one. New faces again, or just more guys that have been in that system for a while. So,
ton of movement at Millard North.
Yeah, Millard North added a bunch of pieces, lost McMorris to Bellevue West. There's been some additions there too, and all the new coaches, right? Like I'm interested to see kind of what that looks like a little bit too.
Let's insert football back in here real quick, because yesterday, Cade McIntyre at Fremont Bergen was the 8th in-state product in 23 to get an offer. Barrett Rude. This is coming from Cade in an interview, I think Husker Online, said that Barrett Rude told him that they were late in the process, that they kind of misevaluated him early on in what position they wanted him to play, They were looking at him as wide receiver. Now they're looking at him as a linebacker. So that's kind of why Barrett Ruud has taken the lead. They came in late. He's got options. I mean, there's some nice Power Fives, including most recently Tennessee, but he's got Iowa and Minnesota. How do you think this process is going to go? Because Nebraska's not a dream school. I love what he said. He said, my dreams go to the NFL. So how does Nebraska handle this getting late in a guy that we all saw in person, and then a lot more people saw him play in the state final, that you go, man, this is an athlete that's got a lot of upside. And oh, by the way, brother is going to play college football as well.
Yeah. Being late clearly doesn't help. And the fact that they basically just pushed him to the side. He didn't have any talks with them. I wrote something, spoke with him, and I actually spoke with him yesterday, but I wrote something after he got Kansas State offer, and asked him about Nebraska. He's like, yeah, they don't talk. We don't talk. I don't know. Like, there's nothing there. And that was a month ago. He has official visits set up in June, just like everybody else has official visits set up in June. He's officialing to Minnesota, Iowa, and Kansas State. Kansas State, I know, is June 24th because I asked Bergen to play in our 7-on-7 event, and so they couldn't because of that, which is fine. Totally get it. I don't know. I feel like it's Nebraska is not in a great place right now with him and for him. A lot of people did evaluate him as a wide receiver, but he did have 68 tackles. He kind of has the length. He's not scared or intimidated. If you've seen Koa play and Cade play, Koa's his brother, they're both really good athletes and tough kids. I think also maybe the stringing along that Nebraska did with his brother probably might not help Nebraska's case in this situation, because they kind of just strung him along for a while, which they like to do occasionally with kids that are potentially walk-ons or kids they want to maybe be walk-ons. They kind of string them along and tell them what they want to hear until November hits. So yeah, I don't know. I think they're maybe in a tough spot right now. Sounds like they're going to get him on campus just for an unofficial next week, which obviously would go a long way before he starts taking these other official visits. So pretty interesting that they kind of followed everybody else in this situation, though.
Hey, so Mike, let me ask you something, because 2023 is going to get interesting here in a little bit. So you got Coleman and Noonan. Flores is well documented. You're going to add McIntyre into the discussion, obviously. How do you see 2023 shaping up for in-state staying home?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got, the three, right? Gatula and Sledge. I love seeing Sledge as an offensive guard. I have since I first saw him as a freshman.
Unfortunately, we'll see him awful early.
Yeah. And Ben Bramer is one, too, that, I don't know, people forget about him. Like,
they shouldn't.
He's really good. So I feel like he's just kind of an afterthought. And that happens to kids when they commit early like he did. Yeah. They just kind of get sort of lost because they're not the new, thing. I don't know. I still, I think I've said this to you guys before. Maverick Noonan for me is the number one guy in the class until somebody else proves something different. He's done it on the field. He's done it as far as his height, weight, all the, measurable stuff. He hits all those boxes. For me, he's the number one guy, and it's probably Flores right there. Those two are probably it. And then I'd probably go Malachi because I just kind of want to see more on the field. I think he's probably more of a defensive guy, just my opinion, than offensive guy. He's clearly checks every measurable box that there is. Clearly does. And then you have a guy like Benny Nagoy, Lincoln High.
I just saw he's officialing to Minnesota, right?
Yeah, Iowa State.
Iowa State.
Yeah. So, he's a really nice athlete guy, but again, he's one that okay, on the field, let's see some stuff. His brother, the story's fantastic. The family's great. I don't know if people remember, Dan was on the Parkview Christian basketball team that Garth Glistening coached, and then ended up finishing playing football for Wayne State. So, but that's how I would shape it up. I think Sledge is the best lineman of the group and in the state. I just love his aggressiveness and power. But then if I was ranking them, that's probably the order I would do is Noonan, Flores really close there, and Coleman's really close. Those three are really close. But I think in 2 or 3 years, I think Maverick Noonan's going to be a monster wherever he goes. He's just a stud. I mean, he's quiet, doesn't say much, but just is a killer on the field. So that's how I would rank it if it was me.
All right. Well, hey, have a great weekend. Any thrifty shopping today?
No, not today. I went to. I've been to. Well, okay. I went to Hy-Vee once, twice, 4 times on Wednesday, Tuesday.
Why didn't you why didn't you go in, get what is on sale, take it, put it in your car, change your shirt, go back in, get it again?
No, I did. I did. I went, they had ground beef or whatever meat.
$1.99.
$2. Yeah. $2 a pound. So I went, I bought, it was limit 2, bought 2, took it to my car, went back in, bought 2. And then I felt like that was probably enough at that Hy-Vee. And then I drove to the one that's a little closer to my house and did the same thing there. So, and then on Wednesday, I went and got a couple things at 2 Hy-Vees too. And then yesterday I had to go to Aldi for something that was on sale. So.
You cut coupons?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You're a couponer?
I mean, I like looking at the ad.
That's usually what you send me.
Yeah. Hey, I'm all about trying to save $1 or $2.
We know that.
Yeah.
And you do it quite well.
I don't have a problem spending, a couple $100 on a pair of shoes though. But if that cereal is 50 cents more than what I'm used to paying, it's a problem.
All right. Oh, one final thing here before we let you go, because I saw it yesterday when I left the Omaha Sports Commission ASCAs. And Damon brought him up the other day, and I kind of have noticed it a little bit more. But Andy Means had such a great tweet yesterday. A picture of him walking out of Millard South after 36 years. Are we? Is Coach Means going to be an active Twitterer?
The last couple of weeks, man, he's been good.
He kind of tweeted a little bit. Him and Bob Dezuris are 2 guys that I think should be more active on Twitter in their retirement.
Bob is great on email.
I'm thinking of an idea for some retired coaches for the fall. How about that? I'll leave it at that. Something
A 7-on-7 tournament or what?
No, you're gonna. I'm with you. If I think you're right, why wouldn't you?
I'm thinking of using some knowledge for some older guys that are retired coaches that still want to be involved. How about that?
Oh, well, okay, that's a nice.
I've had a couple discussions. I'll say that.
I know you have. You're always working it.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back to your 7-on-7. I'm sure you'll have more information next week when we chat.
Yeah, sounds good. Have a great weekend, you guys.
Hey, you too. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike, for being there.
Yeah,
that's Mike Sauter. Yeah, that was a pretty cool tweet by Coach Means.
Yeah, good.
36 years.
So this was the other day. He did that at multiple places.
Wow. Do you think we will ever get Coach Petito on Twitter? Because this is 40.
I doubt it. He doesn't mess around.
All right, last hour coming up. Matt Verzel, Sean Devaney as well on Sharp Betting in the Morning.
Are you serious? Come on.
All right,
man.
last hour on a Friday. I probably should just, before we get to Vers here, we got Sean Devaney this hour. Grab that mic.
When you're right, you're right. When you're wrong, you are dead wrong.
So people have come to love and hate you. That's the truth.
That's the story of my life.
Michigan Lance, who is leaving. Still going to be a listener of the show.
Most definitely.
And I know that you'll call in.
Most definitely.
But you are moving out of Omaha.
Yes.
That's like big news.
That is, man. Going into the belly of the beast, the Sunshine State, Florida. That's a love-hate place, isn't it?
Hey, man, no state income tax. You'll find that out right away.
Right.
When you register your car and you're like, man, this is $400 cheaper than it is in Nebraska.
Exactly. Yeah, man. So what I try to do, and DB knows, is practice what I preach. And you guys have heard me a lot talk about wanting more out of things, specifically high school sports and specific, probably a little bit more specific football. And I've always been about giving my kids and my family the best opportunity. And so there's some things my kids want to do that Omaha just doesn't provide. And so my son wants to be a Division I football player. He wants to go 3 years, and he wants to go to the NFL. And my daughter wants to go into performing arts. There's no performing arts school here. And she wants to do that, and she's a great artist, and she wants to work for Disney one day. And so we want to just provide opportunities, you know what I mean, for not only me and my wife, but for our kids too. And, get more reps down in Florida with football than you do here. So,
hey, guess what, Lance? They have spring football, and it just wrapped up.
Yeah. Well, when we all love that. Well, I would specifically, you know what I mean? So
what was it about? Because I know you did your research in terms of schools.
Yep.
How'd you pick?
Well, my kids are in private school, and so we were looking at Charlotte at one time, at Charlotte and Jacksonville, actually. And we looked at private schools there, and one of the schools, so the school that my kids will be going to is Trinity Christian Academy. And I kind of got the research a couple years ago. My mother mentioned it, but then also actually Brandon Williams, Omaha's finest from Central and the University of Michigan, actually told me that he had a guy he played in the league with, in the NFL with, that coached out there. This was probably like 2017 or probably like 2018. And I was like, oh, okay. And my kids right now go to Omaha Christian Academy. So it caught my eye, that Christian Academy part. And so so we were looking at them, and then there's another school, University Christian. But specifically, as I dug deeper, man, I looked at, I didn't know what their football team was or anything, or sports teams, because all my kids play sports, my girls too. And come to find out, the school is a powerhouse. You know what I mean? At the time we looked, they had won like 7 state titles, and now they're up to 9. And I'm like, oh wow, this is pretty good. So I believe God put us in the right position. My son took the test and got in, and so my daughter will follow, and my youngest daughter takes the test when we go down, when we move down next week.
That's pretty cool. And plus, you got a chance every year to have Michigan playing in the Gator Bowl.
Yes, indeed. Hey, we snuck in when they played Bama a couple years ago, and that was a highlight of my son's life. And me too. It was pretty cool, man. We snuck in at the end of that game. We were in Orlando at the Under Armour All-American game, and I was like, hey, we can make the Michigan game too at the end, and we should be able to get in the fourth quarter. And we did, man. So we're excited. And
you already bought your 16 Trevor Lawrence jersey?
Hey, did you have any tug of wars with public versus private?
No, we've always been private.
I know. I felt like here was more out of necessity.
No? Yeah, I guess when we went down there, no, we wanted to stay. We wanted to stay that Christian faith background. Of course, I grew up OPS, Omaha Public Schools, which was great, for me. And my wife ended up going. She went to Sacred Heart, then she finished at Bryan, and played 4 years of basketball at Bryan. And so, but we wanted to do private, and no, I was no tug of war. They got probably for mom, she's like, they got a good public school down the street. She doesn't come from that part of it, but you're like, no, man, we're gonna go private, and there's an advantage to that. You know what I mean? And the schools we looked at here, we were looking at West Side, Bellevue West, and Prep. They weren't looking at us, but we were looking at them. I always try to stay ahead of the curve, and those were the 3 that my son would have went to, and if we had the the option, and so yeah, like that. So
well, congratulations. I know this was you had to put a lot of thought into this move. And so safe travels, and then you'll enjoy Jacksonville, and you'll especially enjoy it at the end of October when you have all those Florida and Georgia people in that town.
Hey, man, it'll be
it's
awesome.
Wild.
And I know you're a Florida guy, Gary, and I listen to you, and I got
I'm a
family.
South Florida guy.
Right. Well, I got family in Cape Coral, Fort Myers. That's where my mom
There you
actually
go.
started at. She lived there for about 5 or 6 years, and so and I recruited down there, so I know Florida pretty well too, man.
You will enjoy living in Southern Georgia. You know, your idea came up. I was telling Damon, and I want to say when you were recruiting, I was trying to tell him, and you brought up Cape Coral, so this sparked this thought. So the one thing that the high school coaches do in that part of Florida that I covered was they do a job fair, a college fair for recruiters.
Yep. I went.
Yeah. Okay. So there were a lot of Nebraska schools that represented Wayne State, Doane, would come down there.
Yep. I sure did that.
That's when you were at Wayne.
Yep. When I was at Wayne State, I recruited, South Florida, Southwest, Cape Coral, Fort Myers. I actually just was digging through and found some old tape of Noel Devine and Fort Myers High and a couple other schools too. I said, oh, I remember these days. And so, they had a nice, what do you want? I don't know, type of convention, man. Yeah, they got the high school coaches and we, we walked around and people from all over the country came. And that's the thing, more options. Like, man, there's just so many options and so many opportunities that they get to play and show their talent. You know what I mean? And I hope somebody like, I always said the head coach of Nebraska, or now Trev Alberts, who's a football guy, I mean, I really think that they can lead the charge. Tell us what the state of high school football, because that's what we are. That's what this state is. I know there's other things, but we're known for football when you leave here. And I really think that they can lead the charge. Hey, tell us what we need to do on the high school level or middle school level to be more accessible, so we won't be late to the party. So you guys won't be late to the party, like you were just talking about a recruit. It's like, hey, what do we need to do to get better? Tell us, so then we can go do that.
Yeah. Are you having a garage sale? Getting rid of a bunch of probably have some good stuff.
I'm getting rid of a couple things. We don't have we downsized, sold the house last year, renting right now. So hey, man, we're clean out of here. So I'm going to donate to one of my players. One of my students. I'm going to donate. He got an apartment. He just graduated.
Well, congratulations, my man.
Thank you. What's up,
we'll stay in touch.
The street school is going to be they've had a little chance to get acclimated, right?
Most definitely, yeah, man. I left on a high note, left there with $146,000 in scholarships for our seniors. They all earned this year. And 1 year working with my guy Jelani and his brother that we got into West Side that I recommended. So I'm leaving on a good note, doing some handoff to some people to take care of some people for me since I'm not here. And I'll still have some, connection. Y'all can call, and I'll definitely call in.
Any preconceived team that you or your family is going to adopt when you move down there? Like, are you going to become a Jacksonville Jaguar?
No, we're not going to, but we're at least, but no,
Florida
but we are
State,
gonna,
anything
no, but we
like
are
that?
Gonna go though. I mean, we actually have options to go to professional sports teams right in that area. So Gator is. I didn't know it was Gator country in that area. They love the Florida Gators. So.
Because Tebow is from Jacksonville.
Right? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
So in October, I'm not going to see just a bevy of tweets about the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
We'll go watch and have fun, but I'm still a Bears fan, me and my son, and so wife is a Cowboys fan. No, we'll be good, man.
Thanks. Good seeing you.
Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate everything you've done. 1620 fans that listen to me, and Damon, Shug, and Gary, I really appreciate you guys.
Safe travels. Damon will probably be down for spring break. You guys can go up
through.
You can go down to Daytona.
Come through. Yes. Oh, yeah. That's not far either.
Yeah, I'll go see Vince Carter's old stomping grounds.
That's a huge high school, by the way. And also enjoy the ocean there.
Ooh, yes, indeed. St. Augustine, Jacksonville Beach. Yeah. Been there already. We got more.
Anybody wants to come visit you, he'll be down there on Tuesday. All right. Matt Verzal is coming next.
Thank you.
All right, it's Friday. It's the Verse Man, the Pizza Man. Hey, I have to tell you as we welcome you in. Good morning, by the way.
Good morning.
Verse?
Is he there? Maddie?
Matt?
Are you there?
Yeah, are
Oh,
you
yeah.
there?
Hi.
Can you hear us?
Hi, Matt.
Yeah, I can hear you. It's a working lunch today.
Who's
gotcha.
in?
We got I got Connor. Little Jordan's in from Elk South State School. Dooch is of course in as always. Eduardo Hernandez is in the building.
Is he really a genius?
Eddie?
Yeah.
God no.
Wow. Okay.
God,
All right. Let's hope his parents aren't listening.
I mean, if you ask him, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, last night I was at an event in Elkhorn, and somebody who played for you that went to college, is currently going to college at St. Ed, got hired by Andy Kendi at Channel 7 to be an intern. Played football at Scott. I believe his first name's Jack.
So he went to St. Ed?
Yeah, for college, but he played for you at Scott.
Huh. What position? Do you know? He played for me?
He said, yeah, because he would go, hey, is Verse going to be here? And I said, I don't think so.
Oh, it was the Omaha Awards. No, I wasn't there.
You were last night?
Yeah, I know. That just came to me when I said I wish I could pull that back, but it's on air now.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's. I think I know who you're talking about. But yeah, so Andy hired him.
Yes. So he's an intern with the Channel 7 sports department.
Oh, it's Jack Mack.
Yes. There you go.
Hey, now, you want a kid that will like prepare? Jack Mack calls the some of the games that you don't call.
Yes, I met him last night. Yeah, he's very personable. He really wants to be in this business.
And huge knowledge of sports and games, and yeah. So good kid.
So
Jack's a good kid.
he wanted me to say hello. Now we have to let's get into we were talking because we had Sauter on, and I know you like him because you were there watching their state championship game. We are very intrigued by him. Nebraska finally offered Cade McIntyre yesterday. So it's not his dream school. He said his dream is to go to the NFL. Do you like honesty in recruiting when, as a school, whether it be the home state school or somebody else, they're honest with a kid and they say, you know what, I know we're late to the process here and we misevaluated you at this position. This is what you want. Do you like the honesty, or do you think honesty hurts?
I would be. I mean, when in anyone's life, okay, so huge change for me, right? When I went from being probably a little bit more of a people pleaser, where I really worried what people thought about me, and I just worried. And it's not that I'm mean or rude now, but I don't take a lot of S from people. I mean, and I think it, and even your listeners have said it, I get compliments like, I love when you come on because you're just honest with us.
Mm-hmm.
You don't sugarcoat it. They said, no, you don't go full go, but we know where you're headed. So I love the honesty. Be honest with kids. I think a lot of coaches and parents would do better early on in their life. That say, hey, you're this. I've done some research. This is the average height, weight, and speed of a Division I, Power 5 college. I'm just going to say linebacker, no example in mind. This is what they do. You are 4.2, you run a 5.2, and this is not realistic.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see for it? What do you when you try to project him, or do you see him on offense or defense?
Don't even care. He's got that. Like, everybody's like, oh, what's the secret sauce? What's the missing link? Aggression. That kid is aggressive. Like, we've had a lot of discussions now because we've got linemen that I'm working with are going to camps and this and that. I said, hey, technique is in a bubble. I said, in a perfect world, I can get you to where your brain defaults to your technique. Guess what? You're a human being. You're not going to take perfect steps every play, but you can recover from them. But one thing you can control every single rep you get at a camp, in a game, walking down the hallway, if you're competitive, is aggression. Like, I can out effort you, right? For the white dudes, it's motor, right? He's got a good motor. He's a little under talented, got a great motor, but
sneaky.
Those kind of things.
I can control that, right? I can control that. For the brothers, they'll say that, oh man, just an aggressive kid, aggressive guy. But that's what you can control, and you can do that every time. That's what I love about him. That's what I loved in that state championship game. He knew he was the best out there, probably better than his brother, and it did not deter him from going balls to the wall the whole game.
How twitchy is he?
Is there a twitchy scale? I don't.
Well,
I put it this way. I'd roll with him.
Is there a twitchy scale?
Do you think kids,
And
though?
you know, there's a couple that get a lot of hype that I wouldn't roll with.
Good point. Good point.
Thank you.
Do you think kids, though, want to know what position they're being recruited? Or do you think they want colleges to go, hey, you're just a really good football player. We'll find a place for you.
The ones that have had that, path, and have been told by somebody young in their career, you're this, you're that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let anybody tell you any different. You know, that expert diagnosis at 7U full padded football, that guy. And then they gets in their head, and then they go spend a ton of money on different camps and mechanics and this and that. And it's just like, the game is not hard. It's a game. It's a mean game played by mean people in an aggressive manner. And that's about as simple as you can put it. You can just be those things and be a teammate, right? Like that's another thing I think some struggle with, is just being a good teammate. For the greater good go I. Yeah. So if a kid named Will Hart comes to mind for me. Will played for us in the Rona season, and we had some kids that OPS wasn't going to let him play, so they came and played with us. And Will's path, unbeknownst to Will, was determined. And in the season, we got a little light at tight end. Will said, "I'll play tight end," and he was a quarterback. And then it got a little light at tackle. Will said, "I'll play tackle," and so he was a teammate. He just wanted to be a good team player. And the moral of that story is, if a university wants to offer you the opportunity to pay for your schooling and then now set you up with some NIL stuff, for the greater good go I. If you can swallow your pride and say, what can I do to help your team win? What areas do you see me succeeding in with your team? Is it on offense? Is it on defense? Because I think the piece some kids miss is you're interviewing the school just as much as they're interviewing you. And you have to ask them those questions. What did you like about my film? Have you seen my film? Or did you just see me run around at this camp and do these drills?
It's funny you say that, because
there's a lot of offers that come just out of that.
Well, I remember when they first started recruiting Caleb, a couple of the schools met like in bulk, right? He'd meet with like 4 or 5 guys at a time. And I know the second time he asked one of the schools what made him different. Right, because
good question.
Because that's kind of when I knew, Maddie, this was going to be one of those long processes, right? Because it was just one of those weird questions he has, but he just wanted to know what made that school. You're trying to sell me, like, what makes me different to you?
But see, that statement right there, you're being sold. Okay, not in a bad way. Selling is not bad. People make a lot of money selling. But what happens sometimes is when you get there in the sales pitch, you now realize you don't like it. That's on you. You bought. And I'm not saying any example, but the kid now has to be so much more advanced, right? So we're more advanced in reading defenses and doing these things as kids, right? The players. And now you have to advance them in a BS detector sense. And I sift through what this guy's telling me. Is he really like me? Or is he just saying this because he has to say it because I'm standing right here? Is he telling the kid next to me the same thing? That's one that'll get you like pretty far when you're there and they're recruiting somebody else. Like, what separates my game from Billy's game? What do you see the differences in?
Hey,
put them on the spot.
What about this, Matt? Because we were just talking in one of our meetings with the kids and the parents.
last couple of days. We just kind of stacked them. And one of the things that was said during the meeting is, contrary to popular belief, sometimes you have to learn to be a good follower too, right? Like, because not everybody's going to be the lead of the pack with a group of guys or a staff. Do you talk about that much, or does it just kind of present itself where kids fall in line? Because that's a big part of it.
For my position group or for our team?
Well, the one you could speak to the best. You can keep it to your O-line unless there's something you want to get across about your team.
For the way the system is built that we're in, it will always sort itself out. Some of them are silent leaders, and other of them are vocal, and other of them think they are, but they aren't. And those are always funny to me, because you watch the guy trying to get everybody hyped, and then he gets done, and everybody else kind of looks at everybody else like, okay, we get it. But no, it's when I work with kids at other schools, okay, I'll tell them straight up, I can't be out there for you. I'm not coming to your game. We'll play each other. I'll see you. I'll wave at you in warm-ups, but you have to figure out your path. Like, you have to figure out what you're going to do. If you want to be a leader, if you want to lead the offensive line, here's the characteristics and traits of a leader of a group. Okay? Are you the first there? Are you the last to leave? If you screw up, are you positive or are you negative? Is it about, did you see me do this, or did you see us accomplish this? Do you do those things? And can you continually do those things? Because if you do those things, you will have people follow you. You have a personality that invites people in to want to be around you. Or are you a fresh prick that nobody wants to be around? Like, all those things factor into it. But I can't lay out a guideline and say, on this day, you got to do this. They'll evolve through it, and they'll pick up, leadership style from the guys before them, which I would much rather have them do. And then, God forbid, don't lead like I do. Like, don't do that. That's a terrible path.
You got big plans for the extended weekend?
Just hanging out with your guy, right? Are you? How many days you have off? Any?
No, I don't remember if we closed for Memorial Day. I don't think we do. We've got graduations. My guy Jakey Steyer graduates. His party's tonight.
Oh boy!
So I think this might be a reverse party where the attendee gets some gifts, because I think mom wants to take some shots at me. And then 4 of our kids that have worked as Pisons have been fantastic. 3 graduate from Millard North, and 1 graduates from Scott. My cousin Aaliyah Lejour from the Camrath clan. Her party is this weekend, and then Will, Carson, and Ethan all have parties this weekend. So,
all right. Well, you don't have to let me know when you're coming. You just come on by, even if it's at night late.
To your house?
Yeah.
Oh, buddy, no. See, with that's staff that's going to party, so the boss man will be elbow deep in flour from today till probably Sunday at about 9.
What are you doing on Mondays?
Like I said, I got to double check and see if we're open. I don't know. That I'd try not to think that far advanced during graduation.
You would
month and a half.
Well, he's the boss.
Yeah, you maybe let people know if you're going to be open or not. Maybe we'll give them a little advance.
We're pretty flexible. Don't know. Like, I'll figure that out by Sunday morning. Just put out a little tweety, a little Facebooky, a little message on the machine.
Hey, when you run the show, you can do that.
I'm not good. Yeah, if I have, I'll find addressing my own faults. I'm not good at forward. I'm big on OS. There's a holiday that we're closed for tomorrow. We should probably get some messages out.
All right, buddy.
Hey, have a good week.
Where's the Western Omaha swing going this week, Sharpie?
Nothing this week.
Yeah, which is why you should come by when you get time, because I got a weekend. Caleb's in California. Like, we're gonna do the best we can just to little father.
Is he going bird watching?
Nah, he's got hoops.
Oh.
And Micah gets out early, so I'm gonna grab him, and then I don't know, man. You should come by and toughen him up.
I think he's the toughest one.
Yeah, he might. You're probably right, this is probably more mental, but you're right. It wouldn't surprise me. He's going to be a dude.
There's no doubt he's the toughest one.
Wow.
Shot fired.
You know what he's doing too? He takes notes.
Oh, for sure.
He watches like, okay, okay.
Yesterday, they left at like, I don't know, he had to be at the airport whatever time, and they were going to get a quick game of placed live, NBA live in, and Caleb was like, Micah asked him, and Caleb was like, no, you lose too much, and Micah looked at him just deadpan straight face. He said, well, let's go out in the driveway. I have more of a chance to beat you in real basketball than I do on the game.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, Verse, be good.
All right, boys, be good.
Thanks.
He was dead
Savage.
Dead serious, too.
Big Ten baseball tournament.
That was a good shot.
Why? That guy basically has eye black all over his face.
Looks like a beard.
What are we doing?
Well, that is part of his beard. I think he did that on purpose.
I don't know. In a sport where the mustaches are elite.
Yeah, 1-0 Purdue on a ding-dong. The witch is dead.
So top three, Purdue, the 7 seed, big fan base here. They are up 1-0 on Iowa. And there's a guy in an Iowa State T-shirt that has gotten 2 foul balls here in this inning. Yeah, awesome when his kid threw it back because it came off the bat of an Iowa ball.
If people are wild.
So that's going on until probably 2 or 3 in the morning tonight. So if you miss like the beginning, you can just show up at TD Chuck and go watch a game.
Yeah, you and Matty DeMarinis with
you know
the
what?
old
Hey, you know what was?
mashups.
You know what we didn't hear yesterday?
What's that?
All the staffing issues that Mecca has with the Big Ten baseball tournament.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anybody tweeting or.
Must have been legit.
Yeah, they must have been able to staff for the crowd.
Look how big he is.
Peyton Williams is a large man.
Goodness.
Be playing tight end next to Laporta,
who's not very big.
Yeah, but then that would mean you have to play in the Brian Ferentz offense, and you probably would stay with baseball.
Wow.
All right, Sean Devaney. What am I saying? Charlie Jones left.
Yes, he did.
You want to play in that offense?
It is no Buffalo.
Do you have to?
That's why your kid's not playing wide receiver at Iowa.
Do you have to special order shoes like that? Because those are some large shoes that guy's got. That's a large man.
Big dude.
What do you think those are, Shane?
14s, maybe.
14 and a half, 15s.
I wear a size 11 and a half.
I do too.
Those are large shoes. And when they're yellow, like they are. So Purdue gets out of the third. Iowa's to get into the tournament, they got to win 5 games in 3 days after dropping yesterday. So they're behind 1-0 going to the fourth. Beautiful day for baseball, by the way. The crowd, buoyed by Iowa fans, looks a lot better. They better hope Iowa makes it to the weekend. Or to be Yumi and Dupree sitting in the stadium. All right, Sean Devaney on the NBA coming next. So I'll do the baseball talking points. I'll do the top one. You do the bottom one. And then I will grab like a talking point, and then you grab one as well. All right.
Okay.
All right. Coming down in 3, 2, 1. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey is a great way to celebrate your favorite team in the college baseball championship. It's the grand slam of America's favorite American whiskey and peanut butter.
Yeah, it's the perfect way to kind of let loose during a baseball season. A little sweet, a little salty, a little savory. Unlike anything you've ever tasted before, Screwball is the perfect celebration of the unexpected, wild, and wonderful in all of us.
So people hear us talking about Screwball peanut butter whiskey, and they'll say, peanut butter and whiskey? Let me ask you, why not?
Yeah, why not? Screwball, it can taste amazing by itself. You can shoot it, pour it over ice, add it to your favorite cocktail. At home, they like it with a little Frangelico. Get a little Reese's Pieces feel to it. They got plenty of options.
Hey, here's to all the Screwballs out there. Yeah, we're talking to you. Let's raise our glasses tonight in honor of tomorrow's stories with Screwball peanut butter whiskey. Screwball, the original and most awarded peanut butter whiskey, now available near you. Ready to get screwed? Please drink responsibly. I probably got to do that over because it's hashtag. Okay. Screwball, the original and most awarded peanut butter whiskey, now available near you. Ready to hashtag get screwed? Please drink responsibly. Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume. Okay. You want to do? Why don't you go first this time?
Okay. Coming out in 3, 2, 1. Screwball peanut butter whiskey, the perfect way to let loose during this baseball season. A little sweet, a little savory, a little salty. Unlike anything you've tasted before, Screwball is a perfect celebration to the unexpected and wild and wonderful that's in all of us.
Yeah, you want to celebrate your favorite team in the college baseball championship? Screwball peanut butter whiskey is a great way to do it. We would say it's the grand slam of America's favorites, American whiskey and peanut butter.
Yeah, it's the original of peanut butter whiskey. If you try to imitate it, there's no duplicating. Screwball is a standalone, the ultimate duo of two American favorites, American whiskey and a peanut butter flavor. Why wouldn't you?
Screwball, you know what? So here's the thing. It tastes amazing all by itself. You can shoot it, you can pour it over ice, or you can add it to your favorite cocktail, or you can just big old scoop of vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, Screwball, the original, most awarded peanut butter whiskey, now available near you. Ready to hashtag get screwed? Please drink responsibly. Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
All right. I'll go first. All right.
Can we just do the close? There was no debacle.
Yeah, who?
We did 215s, 230s.
I know. Yeah, but yeah, okay. All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Screwball peanut butter whiskey. Great way to celebrate your favorite team in the college baseball championship. It is, the grand slam of America's favorites, American whiskey and peanut butter.
Yeah, Screwball is a perfect celebration of the unexpected and wild that's in all of us, just waiting to be unleashed. It is a great way to let loose during the baseball season. A little sweet, a little salty, and a little savory. A lot of combinations going wild.
So people wonder, what does it taste like? Well, the end result is a whiskey that sips different. It's got a welcoming aroma. It's deliciously sweet meets savory palate with a light and smooth finish.
Yeah, making cocktails, replace your usual whiskey with Screwball for a whole new experience. You'll never go back to your regular old-fashioned.
Screwball, the original and most awarded peanut butter whiskey, now available near you. Ready to hashtag get screwed? Please drink responsibly. Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
I dreamt about this like every day.
Thompson dumps it to Bielitsa, wants to pass out of this. Hands off to Clay in the corner. Clay comes baseline, shoots on the go. One-hander from almost behind the backboard. Up and in for Clay.
This one is very sweet.
Curry crossover, head fake, off the dribble, one-hander. Thought he was going to get a foul call. No, Wiggins rebound, back to Curry. Corner three, Stephen Curry.
Last night, Golden State punched their ticket to the 6th final in 8 years, winning the series in 5 games over Dallas. Now they await Boston to try and close out Miami tonight. We no longer wait. We bring him in. He's the NBA editor for Heavy.com, amongst other places where you can find his fine work, and you can hear his voice on this radio station, Sean Devaney. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, before we dive in what could be the finals, let's see if we can ask you about some of the other stuff that's outside of the 4 teams that are left. When you look at the NBA draft, which will be here before you know it, and you know there's a lot of mocks out there and there's workouts going on, do you think Orlando has focused in on who they're going to take, or do you think they still have a couple of options at this point?
Yeah, I think they still have a couple of options. I think that those options are going to be limited. I think it comes down to probably Chet Holmgren and Jabari Smith. Those seem to be the guys that they're focused on. Holmgren, I think, is the guy who's maybe a little more intriguing because of his versatility, the different things he's able to do, able to play some center. But he's also the guy with the biggest red flag, and that is that he's 195 pounds at 7 feet, which is very, very, very thin. We've seen thin guys come in and succeed. The Kevin Garnett's and Kevin Durant, guys like that. But that is exceptionally thin, and there's some concern that what if he can't bulk up?
Mm-hmm.
I think Smith might be a little bit more of a safer pick, but he's got a lot of upside as well. So definitely looking at one of those big guys. I think Paolo Banchero's not going to be the number 1 pick. Jaden Ivey, guys like that, not going to be the number 1 pick. I think it's going to come down to Smith or Holmgren.
You kind of explained it, but you've been around this league for a long time. How do you see Chet Holmgren in the NBA?
Yeah, I mean, it's a different game. So I think a lot of the concerns that you might have had about him in the past in terms of his size and lack of bulk and stuff like that, I think that's a little less now than it would have been, even 6, 7, 8 years ago. When you get a guy who can step out and shoot the 3 at 7 feet tall, who's a very good rebounder, high basketball IQ, good motor, all that stuff. The fact that he's not built like Dwight Howard is okay, because it's not 2010, so you can get away with that a little bit more. So, I just think the versatility at that size is something that it's going to be hard for Orlando to pass up. Like I said, and that's taking nothing away from Jabari Smith. I think he's going to be a really good player as well. I think Orlando's in a position where probably can't go wrong either way. More a matter of fit and how it's all going to work once they get everybody healthy and playing.
Sean, what do you think happens with how the Kyrie Irving situation plays out in Brooklyn, assuming he does exercise the opt-in with what's next?
It's funny because this time of year, this always happens. The end of the season comes around. And you're looking ahead to July 1st, and you're kind of saying, at the end of the season, you're saying, well, okay, of course, Kyrie Irving's going to resign. Of course, Zach LaVine's going to resign in Brooklyn. Of course, James Harden is going to stay in Philadelphia. But then there's like this 2-month waiting period before you can actually do anything. And in that 2-month period, that's when that's when the rumors go haywire and people start talking and agents start getting involved and all that sort of stuff happens. I still think that Kyrie Irving and the Nets are sort of locked into each other. Irving really has no other options. There's no team that's going to go out there and give him some huge contract, based on what he's been able to or how little he's played during this season. So, basically the Nets are stuck with Kyrie Irving and Kyrie Irving stuff with the Nets. But it is interesting to see the number of rumors that have popped up in the meantime. We'll probably continue to see those right on through the draft.
I'm going to ask about Damon's team here because this is the curious storyline that's going on. How do you spin that the Lakers' search for a coach is going as planned?
I mean, it's really hard for them to do that because it's taking so long, and granted, Charlotte and there's other teams, but it's usually by this time, you've got your guy. And the Lakers are taking so long, and the speculation among a lot of people is that they're waiting to see what happens with Doc Rivers, and that some of the players would prefer Doc Rivers, while the front office would prefer to bring in a guy like a Darvin Ham. But they're very much trying to put forward a united front because if you think back to 2019 when they hired Frank Vogel. That was a what show. That was a disaster. They tried to hire Ty Lue. They screwed up the contract negotiations. He goes to the Clippers. They tried to hire Monty Williams, and he looked at Phoenix and said that's a better job. He went to Phoenix. So Frank Vogel was their third choice. That was a disaster, and it looked bad. And I think this time around they're trying to stay all on the same page, but it's hard. It's clear that they're not.
Hey, so Sean, let me ask you this before we get to the actual playoffs. Well, who's the hot commodity in free agency, though? Is it really going to be Zach LaVine, or is it going to be one of the guys that's under contract, like let's say a Lillard, that isn't necessarily a free agent but could be on the move?
Yeah, it's tough because there's a level of free agents that is huge, but it's also hard to imagine that any of those guys actually change teams, and that's LaVine. That's James Harden, that's Kyrie Irving, even Bradley Beal. It's just hard to imagine that those guys are actually going to change teams because there's not a whole lot of cap space out there.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to try to find a way to force a sign and trade. That's tough to do. Unless you want to go play for Detroit or Orlando or Indiana, it's going to be tough to do. So, I don't think that free agency is where we're going to see the most movement. I think there's a chance we'll see trades. I'm curious about what Utah does. Obviously Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell. I think most people would be surprised if they run that back. So that's going to be something to look for. In Phoenix, DeAndre Ayton is a free agent, but he's a restricted free agent, which means the Suns can match any offer. Still, it's obvious they're not happy with him and he's not happy with them. So that would probably have to be a sign and trade situation. I think that's probably the other big one. You mentioned Damian Lillard. I haven't heard that they're going to start to push to trade him. They just kept Joe Cronin, who's their GM now. He was the interim. They're going to keep him. He has said he wants to keep this team together, give it another shot. So I think that Lillard won't be on the market, but that can change. As soon as he picks up the phone and says, "I want out," the Blazers are going to have to start to take that serious. So I do think that it's likely to see more trade market than the free agent market.
Yeah, they may have to worry about finding an owner first, right? The clock's ticking on that 18-month deadline, right? They have to sell.
Yeah, and right. There's so many moving parts, and really, they kept Joe Cronin and Damian Lillard right now is low on their totem pole in terms of their checklist of things that they need to take care of in the offseason.
Significance of Golden State making it to their sixth final in the last 8 years.
What a great story. I mean, it's just it's unbelievable that the perseverance it took for Klay Thompson to come back, for Steph Curry to grind through these last 2 years, for Draymond Green to grind through these last 2 years. It was not easy for them, and I caught up with them a number of times over the last couple of years, and it was a tough road, to have to go through that, but to wind up back where they are is just remarkable. I don't think at the start of the season, even when they were 17-3, could you really imagine them in the NBA Finals? It was tough. I think the real credit, that should go to Steve Kerr and those guys is the defense. Everybody's going to remember Steph and the 3-pointers and Clay, Splash Brothers and all that stuff. But when they defend the way they did in that Dallas series, they're very, very tough to beat. The 5 finals that they went to were all about defense. Of course they can score. Of course they're exciting to watch on that end of the floor. But they were always a top 5 defense, and that's what they've been here, at least in the conference final. So just a remarkable story with the Warriors.
Prolonging the inevitable, or man, listen, this is the NBA. It's possible. How do the Heat get to Game 7?
Yeah, it's tough because they're outmatched. These are both very good defensive teams, and I think defensively they can play on each other's level. I think the difference is that offensively the Celtics are just a much better team. They've got better supporting pieces. They've got better star pieces. Jimmy Butler, look, he has not been healthy. He's got the knee issue. Kyle Lowry has not been healthy, as we know. We saw how terrible he was offensively in Game 5. So give the Heat some credit. They're not 100%. Nobody's 100% though. Celtics haven't been 100% either. I just think the offensive ceiling with when you've got Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum and the role players like Al Horford, like Marcus Smart, like Grant Williams, who's really been a revelation here in the playoffs. The Celtics are just a better offensive team, and for two teams that are well matched defensively, it's just a tough matchup for Miami to win. The fact that they're 3-2 and they could conceivably get back to a Game 7, that's a credit to Eric Spoelstra and that team, because the Celtics are clearly the better team here.
Sean, as always, we appreciate the insight. Have a great weekend.
Okay, you too, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Sean.
And so Sean Devaney, NBA editor for Heavy.com, always a great guest on the show. All right, great week, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the shows. Hope you enjoyed the debauchery. Hope you enjoyed Damon's meat and your grills and griddles. Be safe, make memories, really be safe, have fun this extended weekend, and remember why it is called Memorial Day. We'll all be back again on Tuesday for another edition of Sharp Betting in the Morning on 1620 The Zone.